senior stars put on the armor one last time as high school football players suiting up for the prestigious NCOFCA All-Star Football Classic. For the best athletes on the gridiron from North Central Ohio will battle it out for supremacy here inside of the Colt Corral, and it's all streaming live and free exclusively on the OH Report. Next.
If you're looking for the best pre-owned vehicles in Ontario, then stop by New Haven Auto Sales today and let my dad, Craig Underwood, the car guy, help you into the car, truck, or SUV that fits your lifestyle and budget. Hi, I'm Carter Underwood, and we specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles and unmatched customer service. We also pride ourselves in our competitive prices and variety of financing options. We're New Haven Auto Sales, 3690 Park Avenue West, Ontario. Visit newhavenoutosales.com.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Well, welcome back to Clear Fork High School, where senior all-stars are just about set to show out at the North Central Ohio Football Coaches Association All-Star Football Classic. Good evening, folks. I am Brian Skowronski, joined by a couple of legends in the booth tonight. Very excited for this combination that we got. Effie James in the house alongside Erik Will, and very accomplished group of athletes that we got out here too. Erik, we'll let you start. Just a mixture, all these guys out here. It just looks like it's going to be a fun environment. I'm expecting a lot more points than we saw last year.
I would agree. I think the defensive rules add to that as well. When you think of the fact you got to be a 4-3, zero coverage, which means there's nobody in the middle. So your defensive backs better be ready to go with the two quarterbacks that we have here with Marshall Shepard and Brock Hill. But a lot of pride on the line tonight. Just regionally, you're talking about a lot of conferences even intermixing right here. But I love this because what you do is you get to see how a lot of other players, kind of how they do things and how they think, and mixing coaching staffs. This is fun times, man. And Effie played in this thing, so he can even give you a little bit of a player's perspective.
Yeah, from your experience, Coach, getting to mix and match with some other guys that you went against, maybe that you saw play, saw some highlights or something. Pretty neat experience for these guys all the way around.
Well, it is. It's an unforgettable game, and it's one of those games where it's in the heat of the summer, and it's kind of just enough time for you to forget about football season, and you get a chance as a player to get back in here and get the pads back on. And it's really it's an amazing time because you get to sit in the locker room with guys, some of which you know, some of which you don't know, most of which you played against or seen play. And just to see, I remember thinking like, wow, the routines, everybody's got a routine. Like I always had one, and to watch different guys, how they got ready to play, that was always interesting. And I love the decal switch. That was huge for me.
Yeah.
To get somebody else's decal and have somebody else have my decal on their helmet was huge too. So it's the little things and the fun that goes along with this football game.
And it's not just star-studded players out here too. A lot of stars star power in the coaching staffs here tonight, Erik.
Yeah, you got two great coaches. Obviously, Shelby, Coach Mahaney, adding to the Shelby staff, which is also helping tonight. Gabe Helbert and his dad, Steve. So we know their connection with Winford and really even North Central Ohio as well. And then you got Coach Stover on the other side at Highland with Coach Wetzel, who's got state championships under his belt. So two great coaching staffs that are assembled here, and we'll see their imprint on the game. And Effie will tell you this, they've had 4 days of practice, so it's not like you're getting real deep into your playbooks and your schemes here. Defensively, it's really just read and react and play football. Offensively, you're trying to find a few matchups you like and to take advantage. And how's that ground game going to work, because you're trying to piece an offensive line together as well.
And that's a big key, is like Erik mentioned, it's the ground game. It's so much, and people really come out to see the ball all over the field, but because of the timing and the lack of practice, it's really going to be the success of the game is going to be who can run the football and who can get the ball from the backfield up the field without having to throw the ball downfield deep and pick up first downs that way. If you can pick up first downs on the ground in this game, you're going to be successful, because just no matter how great, and we do have great quarterbacks in this game today, the timing is that detrimental when you don't have that much practice. The timing can be critical to pass completions in this game.
I think the expectation, just given how the rosters are built, is that the South probably will be running the ball a little bit more than you look at the North roster with all those Shelby kids, and then, of course, Marshall Shepard, who's going to be airing it out. Perhaps they'll be putting it up through the air. Let's go ahead and meet both teams. We'll begin with the North.
Number 18, Sean English from Plymouth.
My name's Caleb Baker. I'm from Shelby, and I play defensive end and guard.
I'm Cam Armstrong. I'm from Shelby High School, and I play O-line.
Xander Wilkins, O-line, D-line, Shelby High School.
AJ Cornett, defensive line, Shelby.
I'm Joey Pollock, and I play interior D lineman, and I'm from Shelby.
My name's Aiden Gotze. I graduated from Crestview High School, and I'm a middle linebacker.
My name's Brian Gotze. I'm outside linebacker for Crestview High School.
Gabe Smedley, wide receiver, Crestview.
Connor Morris, Crestview High School, running back.
Gage Bloodhart. I am recently graduated senior from Crestview High School, and I play running back.
My name is Bo Galbraith. I'm a wide receiver and a cornerback, and I went to Mapleton High School.
Hunter Sanders, DB, running back, Mapleton.
My name's Seth Shoemaker, Ashland High School. Played offensive line and defensive line.
Brian Crabtree, linebacker, Winford Royals.
Duncan Stewart, linebacker, Monroeville.
Eric Schneider, linebacker, New London High School.
Sean English, I go to Plymouth High School, and I play defensive end and tight end.
Owen Whitmire, wide receiver, corner, Winford.
Yoder, I'm a defensive end, and I'm from Western Reserve.
Wyatt Martin, offensive line, defensive line, Buckeye Central.
So there are the North All-Stars, and we talked about all those Shelby kids and, of course, having the coaching staff. So there's got to be, of course, some consistency and some familiarity there. And we're expecting these whips to come out and show out. Three All-Ohioans from that player or from that team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Blaine Bowman, Andre Hill, Marshall Shepard. Those are big-name guys, but I want to add in Isaac Brooks from Madison. That's a top-flight athlete. And then let's go Connor Morris out of the backfield. That might be that running game that Effie was talking about, because he was probably one of the better running backs in the area last year.
Question.
So I think they're going to have to lean on him a little bit to get that ground game going.
Well, the leading rusher in the area will suit up for the South All-Stars tonight. Let's go ahead and meet him now.
Carson Fichtner. I'm a linebacker, and I play for Colonel Crawford.
Lincoln Mollenkoff, running back, linebacker, and I go to Colonel Crawford.
Nick Teglovic. I play offensive line and defensive line, and I play for Colonel Crawford.
Caden Holtree. I play for Highland, and I play O-line and D-line.
Eli Grandstaff. I play for Highland High School. I'm a linebacker and fullback.
Kyle Anderson. I play for Highland. Also play offensive line, defensive line.
Jay Mulcahy. I went to Highland. I play receiver and safety. Marcus Cortez. I play wide receiver and defensive back, and I go to Northmore High School.
Gavin Whited. I play for Northmore, and I'm offense and defensive lineman.
Nico Cristo, linebacker, Northmore High School.
Colin Arnold Lucas. I'm a tackle and D lineman.
Grant Barrett. I go to Lucas, and I'm a linebacker and running back.
JD Cox. I go to Lucas High School, and I play offensive line and defensive line.
Brock Hill. I play quarterback, and I'm from Mansfield Senior High.
Miles Bradley. I went to Mansfield Senior High, and I play receiver and outside linebacker.
Wes Stokes from Marion Harding. I play wide receiver.
Jacob Warren, inside linebacker, Marion Harding.
Caden Hill, left guard, Marion Harding.
Caden Roberts, Gallion High School, O-line, D-line.
Paul Butterman, wide receiver and DB,
Mount Gilead.
Devin Freeman from Clear Fork, and I play slot receiver and defensive back.
Kevin Klein, I play running back for Elgin High School.
Caden Sloan, I play O-line, D-line, and I went to East Knox High School.
Carson Berry, I play linebacker and running back, and I go to Lexington High School.
There's a look at the South All-Stars tonight. And Effie, you want to highlight Miles Bradley a little bit. He's going to be heading to BGSU, going to play some outside linebacker for them. And Erik was just saying, just a great leader, and overall that this kid, he can do a lot of different things on the football field.
Well, I said earlier in the year I thought Miles Bradley was one of, if not the best football player in this area, just because of so much he does in the game. He brings everything to the football game. He's always around the football defensively, and he makes plays on the offensive end. They don't have enough space to put all the positions he played for senior high this year. Just an outstanding talent and a great football mind. The kid is a really student of the game. You can tell he's a coach's son.
That will wrap up our MWD Logistics pregame as we are officially underway. That's Marshall Shepard with a short kick. Eli Grandstaff of Highland takes it out across the 40-yard line. And that is where we will set up shop here with the first drive of the night. June football, man. Love this stuff. Brock Hill's going to be starting. Mollenkoff going to be in the backfield. Look across that offensive line. A lot of studs out there. Some Lucas Cubs. You know that they're going to get after it. Devin Freeman, Connor Harper going to be on the outside. And then Bradley, Melchiori are the two wide receivers.
Yeah, I wonder if somebody prepped the Lucas guys for pass pro. You know what I mean?
Right.
Definitely had to be some studying for that.
I'm always interested to see in these all-star games who's going to be more physical, because a lot of times it's about the flash and the big plays, but who's going to be more physical up front? That'll be key.
On first down, here's Hill. Gives it to Melchior. He's going to go deep, a little trickery, and it's just out of the reach there of Wesley Stokes of Marion Harding. And we saw them at practice 2 nights ago. They've got a lot of these in their bag of tricks tonight. You expect them to be pulling out quite a few more plays that look just like that.
Yeah, it's an all-star game. This is what you're spending a little bit of that practice time doing, right, Effie?
Exactly. And see, Wesley Stokes, I think he had a step on the defender that time, but I think he may have lost the football in the sun. But, again, that's just about that timing and trying to make a big play here early. I love the call.
Man, I'll tell you what, just looking at the size of Bradley out there compared to the DB, oh, it's a lot of meat out there.
Yeah, Miles, I saw him at the Tiger football camp this week, said he's up to 210 right now.
Ouch.
That's going nowhere. Stokes dropped down in the backfield. Sean English of Plymouth coming in to make the stop.
Well, again, defensively, it is all about like Erik talked about earlier. It's about find the football, get after the football, get hats to the football. And defensively, they're restricted in what they can do schematically, but you can get after the football. And right now, that's what the North is doing. It's going to be important right here for Brock to just get a completion under his belt. It's always great for a quarterback to get a nice completion. They may not get the first down here, but if he needs to put it in the air, it'd be nice to see him get a completed ball here in this first series.
Going to need 15 to move the chains. Hill's going to break the pocket, step up. He's going long, got a man, and it's tipped incomplete. Melchiori got a couple of mitts on it, just wasn't able to squeeze it.
Yeah, great play there by Andre Hill from the defensive back position. I almost thought right there you might even see just something quick to get it out to Bradley, because I think he could shake a tackle. You know what I mean? And watch him rumble down that sideline. And how about English, number 18 from Plymouth on the play before? Coming from his defensive end position to stop a jet sweep, that was actually pretty impressive.
That was Andre Hill with the one-on-one coverage, able to break that one up as it's going to be a 3-and-out. South squad going to have to punt it away. It's Nathan Hickman. Blaine Bowman with the return. Doesn't go very far, out across the 30.
Well, here we go. Here's one thing that the North has that the South doesn't is receiver and quarterback continuity.
Right.
Because they're adding they have two All-Ohio wide receivers that understand Coach Mahaney's schemes as far as what they're reading, how to break things down. Obviously, no safety in the middle. Yeah. And Marshall was on point. I mean, he right around 5,000 yards throwing the ball this year. So, we'll see if they get this thing in the air early.
Yeah, he was the player of the year in the district, first team All-Ohioan, and right on cue, hooking up with Blaine Bowman out across midfield.
Yeah, that's simple. That quick out with the seam over the top concept, they probably run that 100 times a day in practice. That's like a running play for the Shelby Whippets, and a great opening play for the quarterback, get the receivers involved. And if I'm the South, I'm nervous about having to play man and all game against this essentially what's a Shelby offensive attack.
Shepard back to pass, pump fake, steps up, and that one's going to be dropped. Put it on the money to Jerron Filiator, but the Winford product just wasn't able to haul it in.
Yeah, and there are no defensive adjustments.
Right.
You know, that's the thing. I mean, it literally is you are in a 4-3. There's no blitzing. Right. So people at home watching need to understand that there's no blitzing here. So, you know, if no matter which team you are, you're just using your man concepts.
There's a starting lineup for the South defensively as Marshall uncorks one. Juggled. Bowman couldn't bring that one in.
Well, that's a great play by Nate Hickman because just as the receiver was starting to bring it in after the bobble, he laid a lick on him in the back, and that jarred the football loose. So that is a great play. In a stressful situation, you're playing man-to-man, and you can't get any pressure on the quarterback. The quarterback's got a clean pocket. So as a DB, you're kind of out on an island. So he made a great play there to jar that football loose.
And you can tell it's June football if Blaine Bowman's dropping it.
Right.
Because during the football season, he didn't have too many of those. Here's the other Shelby product out on the outside, Andre Hill. He's going to get about 6 yards. Not going to be enough for a first down. So it'll be fourth. Looks like they're going to need about 4. And Coach Mahaney going to keep the offensive attack out there.
You got to go for this, Effie.
Well, absolutely. You know, right now you're on that side of the 50, and your short passing game, and a little whip route right there by Andre Hill. That's like a pitch sweep for Shepard and Hill.
Come out 4 wide, throwing it, looking for Hill.
Good D.
Bradley might have got there just a touch early, no call.
No, that's a good play. As a matter of fact, because of this thing is set up for offense, I'm with Effie.
Right.
You got to, and not to mention that. Listen, Effie will tell you this as a quarterback. You're evaluating that. There are matchups. You got 4 of them across. That's not the one I'm picking if I'm Marshall Shepard.
No.
I'm just saying that dude's going to Bowling Green, and Effie nailed it. Listen, he's a positionless player. Right. He can play about 5 different positions out here. You know, guys like him are why we got rid of the term like 4 and 5 in basketball. You know, you're just playing basketball now.
Yeah, and he understands that out of the slot position, Andre Hill generally is going to run some kind of whip route, an option route, or an out route. So he jumped all over it as soon as the quarterback planted his foot. So that was a great play by Miles Bradley.
So we're going to get a change in the backfield here to open up the second drive for the South. Hickman taking over at quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to run the ball. I mean, that's where you're seeing a 7-man box no matter what, and it's hard to get movement. If you don't get that either 3 technique or shade, depending on where you're running that thing to, if you don't get them back into the backer's lap, that's what you're going to see all night.
Well, and one of the things offensively that could help in a game like this where everybody has to be so vanilla are plays like counter plays and misdirection type plays, which they tried to run early because you get the defense going one way and the play action goes the other.
Cardington QB steps up. He gets hit in the back. Intercepted. Brian Crabtree fell right in his lap.
Wow.
And the North gets the rock right back.
Wow.
Great defensive effort right there.
Absolutely. Big-time play coming from behind the quarterback, and he had a man open deep, and just as he could get it off, he took a shot in the back. But Brian Crabtree, and people say that looks easy, but I'm telling you, when you're not expecting the ball to come and you're rushing the quarterback, that takes a lot of hand-eye coordination to be able to catch that thing. He caught that football. That's a great play.
He's got, palm olive hands, man. You see that thing? I guarantee you, Coach Helbert's not throwing him a lot of balls in practice. And
Shepard to Bowman. First points of the night. No surprise. It's the Whippet connection.
It's only a matter of time. You can't play man-to-man against this attack and play solid the entire time. You're going to make a mistake, and Marshall Shepard's the guy that's going to find it.
And here's the thing defensively. What you can talk to your kids about is do not give the inside release.
Right.
That's the big thing. Don't give up the inside. Make them at least work outside and over top. That's going to be something that you can at least reiterate to your players. And just common sense adjustments athletically. If you know you're playing someone that's got a step or two on you, go ahead and back up a few yards.
Well, that's hard. You know, being a teenager, self-evaluation is not.
Well, especially because they're all-stars.
Right, exactly. We all
that's right.
belong here, so
that's right.
It's hard to do that.
Right.
But that's just a great play.
Yes, it was.
And you can tell the connection that they have. So 6 points up for the North early.
And Eli Grandstaff keeping it at 6 as he came through with the block on the PAT.
Did he try to dunk that?
I think that was a finger roll.
Yeah. I think he tried. You know what? I appreciate
tried
no flag
to
on
dunk.
That. Are all three of us on agreement? Like this is an all-star game. Have a little fun.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
don't show up. Don't go to the other opponent. But I'm saying, have a little fun in the end zone. I'm glad there was no flag on.
See, I'm all about that in all
Me
levels
too.
of the game.
I'm with you.
Like I think to me, I think they toyed around with like a celebration clock. I'm all for that. Now, again, as long as you're not showing up the other team and all, like as soon as you cross the line that the clock starts going, you get 12 seconds. Whatever you want.
Right.
Whatever you want.
Take a family picture. Do whatever you want, Brian.
Now, and if you do anything after that, then the flag comes out. But give me 12 seconds to do whatever I want.
This is a new idea that I'm hearing for the first time, and I kind of like the celebration shot clock.
Effie's more old school than I am. So if coming from Effie, man, that's big-time stuff
with it,
right
man.
there.
I like it, man. I like it.
Man, can you imagine if you would have had that with your crew in the 90s there with the TY Tigers?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Chioke was the creative one of the bunch. He scored all the touchdowns, too. So
kids would be staying after practice to work on that stuff.
Get a bit of a pooch kick here by Marshall. Taking on the hop.
Ooh, man,
and it's going to be nice starting field position, but you're right. Big pop that time. Looked like Duncan Stewart of Monroeville.
Well, it's interesting to see here. Now the South looks like they're going back to Brock Hill here at quarterback. But, you know, it's early in this game and all that, but this feels like this is an important drive for the South. They've got to get something going here. They haven't been able to get anything going on the ground. And a turnover and lost yardage on the first series. So this is an important drive to establish something here for the South team.
Right. Agree 100% with that.
Well, they do have the area rushing leader Lincoln Mollenkoff in the backfield. First team All-Ohioan, over 2,000 yards this last season for Colonel Crawford.
Mr. Bradley was lined up. They had a quads there. I know that's against their rules.
And they're going to target him. Here is the Tiger connection. Miles slipping through a would-be tackler, and he's out across the 50.
Yeah, and that's like water. You know, you throw that out. They've done that 1,000 times in practice. Miles, and a lot of times, as Erik mentioned earlier, he may break a tackle and turn a 6-yard pass play into a 60-yard gain. You just never know. That's an easy completion for Brock. That's what he needed, and now that'll loosen him up to see what they can do for the rest of this drive.
Got trips here to the near side. Brock looking that way all the way.
Nice.
Stokes, hesitation move. Couple of spins, too. And finally slung down after he wiggled his way for a first down.
The 6'4" Harding product right there, having a little wiggle in there. I actually like the concept of the South here. I like isolating Miles away from the trips. And that was a nice – Effie alluded to this earlier. So now you've gotten a first down. You got a little momentum. Keep going to the people that you know are going to eat well on these quick throws.
Fake to Mollenkoff. Brock calls his own number this time. And I've been noticing Joseph Yoder here at the defensive end spot on the right from Western Reserve. He's basically won his matchup every down.
Right. And that's what it is. And at all these positions with this type of defense, it's about winning your personal battle. Can I beat my guy each play? And when you're doing that as a defensive lineman or even as an offensive lineman, that'll make a big difference in the rushing attack and in your pass pro. If you can win your individual battle, that really does a lot especially for the South, who's probably not going to have a great passing game, but they've got to be able to have options.
Brock running out of options here, but creating some space.
There it is.
Mollenkoff had to wait for it about 3 seconds. Huge block on the perimeter by Freeman, opens it up.
Nice.
Love it. There's that improvisation there by Brock Hill. We saw that a whole bunch throughout this season, which made him one of the better quarterbacks in the area. And I think that's what he's really good at.
Sure.
Is that off-script, probably could have, should have been sacked depending on how you feel about it. Obviously, if you're Brock Hill, you'll take that any day of the week because you're such a good athlete. Good luck getting him down. And, kind of to piggyback off what Effie said last time, I mean, if you think about this, if you're a smaller school guy, you hear about these Mansfield guys. Right. You hear about these Madison and Ashland guys. This is your chance to compete against and with those guys.
Absolutely.
Brock again breaks the pocket. This time he's going to scramble, keeps his feet, and he's into the end zone, lighting up the Blackstone Insurance scoreboard. We're all even at 6 apiece.
Absolutely. Great instinctive play by Brock Hill, and I think they had a really nice pass concept. They had a dig concept and a corner route down here at the bottom, but Brock said, well, look, there's an error and opportunity there. He made a couple cuts, and he's a strong kid, so he's able to shake off some tackles and get in for the touchdown. Great play.
Yeah, it says 180 pounds. I think he plays bigger than 180 pounds. You're not tackling him at 180 pounds. I feel like you might be playing him more like 200 pounds. He is an extra running back in the backfield.
Right.
And I've seen him in the gym putting up some big weights over there at Arlen during the football season. So you're right, he might be 180, but he's a strong 180, no doubt.
That's a deceptive 180. If that's 180, I'll tell you what. I have an appreciation for his game because he's a competitor, and that's what you saw there. He's competing, and that's just it. Once you kick this off, people are like, oh, it's an all-star game. They're having fun. They're having fun, but I'm telling you right now, they want to win. And as this game goes on, if we keep these scores going back and forth like this, which, as a viewer and as someone calling this and as a fan, that's what we like. We like points going up and all that. It's going to continue to get more and more competitive.
And one thing I noticed too, Erik, when as you said, when this game gets going, not only do the players get more serious and want to win, the coaches as well. You'll start to see the coaches get really creative, and the defensive coaches will push the limits of those restrictions so they can gain an advantage. The coaching staffs will really start to tighten up what they do as this game progresses.
And we saw last year, Scott Spittler, in typical Lucas fashion, kind of took the air out of the ball to get the win at the end of last year's All-Star game.
You know what? Hey, man, he wanted to win a game. And here's what I like already about this. You can tell both sides. There hasn't been any chippiness, just guys getting after it, playing football, physicality. And that's what makes this a cool All-Star game. What do we hear? 1986 this started?
1986. Almost 3,000 players have played in this game.
Carson Berry just laid his hands all over that returner right there. That's a fine product from Lexington right there. Obviously, his older brother was a stud as well. So, Carson Berry making his imprint on special teams right there.
All right, we're going to send it down now to Hayden Gray. He's standing by with Mr. Touchdown, Brock Hill.
All right, down here with South quarterback Brock Hill. Brock, just take me through that drive. How'd you get your team on the board?
Well, it started out with a broken play. I was just running around making a play, and then I told my running back in practice just kind of stay open. If I'm scrambling, I'll find you, and I found him, and he made a play. And then also my O-line they're blocking. So we're gonna get this dub. That's
all right, congrats, Ben. All right, we'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, appreciate it, Hayden. Brock. Man, look at that smile. How could you not be having a great time scoring touchdowns in an all-star game, a head of hair like that?
That's right.
Summertime, baby.
That's what's to be celebrated, man, is that 18-year-old hair.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10. Keep it on the ground. Here's Connor Morse. Nicknamed him the little engine that could during Crestview's football season. Kind of came out of nowhere in a lot of regards for his senior year. All-Ohioan, led his team to an undefeated best season in program history. It's pretty awesome to follow him.
Yeah, and Crestview in general had a great – I mean, obviously the only thing that stopped them was a state championship carry team. So, he's just a representation of a great team.
3rd down. Shepard going deep, and it's tipped at the last second. Gabe Smedley would have been on the other end of the phone, but Marcus Cortez disrupted the call.
Yeah, Marcus Cortez from Northmore, man, what a play right there, getting his hands all over that thing and laid out. I mean, what is he, 5'9", or I'm sorry, 5'10", got a piece of that. So North team has to punt, so that's a big-time win after a score. So momentum's wearing blue right now.
Yeah, and I think Marcus may have misjudged the football because I thought he had a chance to pick it, and he misjudged the football, but still laid out to go get a hand on it. a big play. Big play. We've seen a couple big plays by the South secondary.
Cortez, honorable mention All-Ohio from Northmore this past season. Here's an end-over-end punt. Comes to rest at the 34-yard line where the South is about to take over, fresh off of a touchdown drive. We'll see if they let the kids that were on the field during that last drive continue to roll or if they mix it up again.
Well, it looks like they're kind of going every other series. That's what I'm seeing, where Shelby looks like they're sticking kind of with their with Marshall Shepard at quarterback. Although I don't know if the South side or the North side actually has another quarterback on the roster.
Well, I think that's probably exactly how Coach Mahaney would like it, if he could have his guy out there slinging and dilling all night.
Well, and it's all about comfort level. And see the man out there with the camera. We're up here trying to get it done.
That's right.
But if you are, it's all about comfort for coaches, man. If you're a coach, you go with who you're comfortable with, who you trust, and trust has a big part in who gets minutes in any sport, really.
Here's Miles Bradley, his second catch of the evening.
Wheel route coming with that, with the back out of the backfield. So that outside backer is required to go with that. I mean, you do a lot of good stuff with that. I mean, you could even set up a hook and ladder later. There's a lot of different things that can come off of that.
Yeah, there's a lot, especially with this man coverage, with that back out of the backfield. But it's all up to how long can your offensive line hold up for those routes to develop. Nice.
Yeah, beautiful fake that time from Hickman, getting loose down the near sideline before he's finally slung down after a big run.
Yeah, great run right there. Caden Sloan there, the offensive guard there from East Knox, all 200 pounds up, running down there looking for a human being to get his hands on there. So touchdown saving tackle right there by Brooks.
Yeah, we talked about the importance of counter plays. That's a counter play right there. We had the flow of the defense going one way. Quarterback pulled it, had a huge hole, and was able to extend that play for a big yardage.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, Effie. And you can see that the South has made more of a conscientious effort to run the football as well.
Fresh set here. Straight back to pass this time. Lobbed out for Bradley, who chases it down, and back-to-back Tigers getting into the end zone.
Yeah, he even underthrew him there a little bit. Bradley snatched that thing up. There's no way that you're stopping him with that momentum from not getting in the end zone. So we see the TY Tigers having their effect in this game. So we've got Hill with a touchdown. We got Bradley with a touchdown doing Tiger things, man.
Well, and that's a great play. Again, like you talked about, the adjustment by Miles. He was actually on the sideline there for that throw and adjusted all the way in, almost to the hash marks, to make that catch. Had to go down low and get it, and then finish the play by getting in the end zone. Great play.
PAT is up. It is pure from Drew Blauser of Clear Fork. And it's now a 14-6 advantage for the South. They've got the last two tutties. There's the man that just got into the zone, heading to Bowling Green, following in his papa's footsteps. And I imagine that kid has a bright college future ahead of him.
Agreed.
And again,
I do as well.
Great hair, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, but I will say this, man. See, I do know his daddy, so he better hold on to that.
Right.
Effie, right? Come on now.
Yeah, he has to.
I mean, come on, man. I do know this. Grosses, Bradleys.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of names in Mansfield that pump out some flat-out studs. And I think he's going to be a great college player because of what we said. Because even if you're like, man, I don't know about outside, but you can move him to strong safety. Even there's so many different places he can play. And I do like him on the defensive side because I think he is a very physical human being, and I think he's a three-down guy. He's not going to hurt you in the pass game if you start seeing different I think he can play spread. He can play I teams. He's going to be able to make those adjustments because he's such a physical human being.
Yeah, and there's certain players that may not get the recruiting looks, and Miles Bradley is a football player, and he's a kid that may not knock you down with his measurables and his speed on the clock, but you watch him out on the football field, and he may as well be in a 4-4, 4-5 because he's a football player. So he's a kid, once he gets on campus, he's going to make a difference.
Here's Hunter Sanders of Mapleton on the return, looking for a seam, not going to find one. Barry got to him quickly, slung him down after not even getting across the 16.
So what do you think, Effie? What's Shelby's with Marshall the North approach here? I mean, are we gonna try to establish any type of a run game, or are we going back at it? What are we doing?
I think the South has shown that it's the balance right now.
Right.
And if you look at the South kids, they got a lot more energy, they got a lot more pep, and the thing about the run and shoot style offense, it's great when it's going, but once the secondary have backed off a step, those guys have backed off a step. They're reacting a little bit better. We've seen them make a couple big plays. They have got to attempt to establish some type of running attack here.
Instead, it's going to be straight back to pass. Marshall rips one down the seam, incomplete.
And I'll tell you what I liked what the North was doing early was the very first play. Just simple schemes by just get the ball out early, pitch and catch, catch.
The quick out, Andre Hill and a couple whip routes on the inside from the inside slot. Those are like pitch sweeps. Trying to shoot it downfield, it's high risk, high reward. But also, now you're looking at 2nd and 10.
Right.
You got your DBs taking a little bit of a step back, and, we'll see what happens here.
See more than 150 people watching on our Facebook and our YouTube. Another deep throw, almost intercepted and then nearly stolen away there by Brooks.
Yeah, it was kind of caught, not caught. And here's why I'm saying even kind of hit some of the under stuff. You can't have your receivers running 30, 40-yard dashes tonight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's going to catch up to you as this game goes on. That ball was, I feel like we were playing the old game when we were all kids, $5. I mean, you're just throwing that thing up, yelling a price out because the defensive back almost took that thing away there. So Shelby in another 3rd and long here.
But I think what the coaching staff is saying, like, look, we may go deep. It may be 3rd and long, but it only takes one. It only takes one, and they've got the studs that can get behind the secondary, and one reception could be 6 points. Great defense.
Wow.
Another pick. He picked it.
Shepard lost the ball. Kevin Klein came away with it. Flag flies as he's inside the 5-yard line, but as of right now, it's the South All-Stars set up in prime position to take a 2-score lead.
Yeah, I think that was Nick Teglovic, wasn't it? Getting his was he the one who kind of caused that whole thing to initially happen there? So 6'1", 245 pounds, obviously, from Colonel Crawford. Man, how about that play right there defensively? I mean, I think the laundry on the field might be him as well. I think he kind of laid on the quarterback there a little extra.
See the referees discussing.
Yeah, I thought they might be looking at a illegal blitz or something like that because
maybe.
But it's kind of a tricky because the quarterback looked like he may have tuck it and run, and that's where these rules. They're calling a face mask here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was Teglovic that initiated the contact, disrupting the play to set it up for Klein to come away with the interception.
Man, I'll tell you what. Isn't it amazing? Just even in an All-Star game, just the momentum.
Absolutely.
I mean, the North had it, and man, ever since that touchdown to Bowman, it has been all South. So I think Brock Hill's coming back out here at QB as well.
Well, you think about it, it's the rhythm of the game. The South team is more offensively. They've done more. They've thrown it deep. They've thrown it short. They've run counter plays, jet sweeps. They've run it. They're playing a real game offensively. Where the North is pretty much playing, and they're playing Shelby-style offense.
Handoff left side. Cut down inside of the 3-yard line is Carson Berry of Lex.
Yeah, it's a nice. I like getting him involved. He's a heck of a ball player. I watch Carson. We've seen Carson Berry play for the last 3 years. He's a heck of a football player. He's a true Taylor Gerhardt guy. You know what I mean? He's just a physical, no nonsense. He's a good offense and defensive guy. I'm glad to see a young man like that get touches in this game.
Yeah, he reminds me. He was Lexington's version of Miles Bradley. Kind of do it all, always around the football defensively, making plays for him offensively.
Hickman fakes it to him this time. And he's going to be dropped down about at the 2. Caden Clapper able to help make the stop from Madison.
Yeah, I like the quarterback run game that they've implemented. I mean, I feel like that's been a nice addition for the South side here. So this is the tough part of the field when you get around that you know, I don't even want to say red zone. I'm calling it even inside the 10 where that playbook really shrinks.
Right.
And what do you have that can go get you in against a true 7-man box?
Absolutely.
You know, what can go get 2, 3, and 4 yards?
You know, it's either power football or some type of read action here.
Nice ball.
Oh, nice. Right over the top.
And an even better catch in traffic. Paul Butterman, first team All-K-Mac, representing Mount Gilead right there.
That's a great play, Effie.
Nice slant over the top with a out route underneath. But again, that man coverage, it confused the secondary a little bit, just gave him just enough room for Butterman to make that catch in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Hickman's had a really nice game as well. He's run the ball well. That was a great pass right there. That's about the only place that can be caught as well.
About the only place that you're going to find guys from Mount Gilead playing nice with people from Cardington, Lincoln. That's something that's cool about these games is that it forces you to have to play with your rivals.
Yeah, I remember being in the locker room with Madison players, and that was weird for me. No, I'm serious. Man. That was like, you know, and I'm not saying that the rivalry has cooled off any, but it was scorching hot in those days. And to be sitting in the locker room with Madison guys, it was different. We were kind of avoiding each other all practices. We weren't talking, and it was Shag. Shag was the kid's name, and we actually ended up being great friends after that. Once we broke the ice.
That's almost a children's book. You know what I mean? Effie James becomes friends with
He's a man of
Madison.
many talents. He's a writer, so to be continued.
That's the next play. Stay tuned.
And the next play right now for the North needs to be a positive one. They have not had much great offense after that big explosive play to Bowman.
But you know what? That's the little subtle adjustments, though. I feel like that they have kind of taken a step off, and what they've done is they're moving Miles around as well. You know that you might have a deficiency here and there against an athlete or two, and when you move up, you know, your A player around, there aren't many guys out here that are going to a Bowling Green type school. We a lot of Division II, a lot of Division III, good high school football players. Don't want to diminish that at all. Great football players. But Miles is a next level. Like, he's getting paid to go play college football.
Well, it's interesting. Just a few minutes ago, it just seems like we were saying how important that drive was for the South. Well,
there you go.
Right now, big play. Nice run. Well, this is a big drive, important drive here for the North now. They've gone down a few scores here in what seems like a matter of minutes, and all of a sudden the tables have turned, and this is a big drive.
And you're right, though, Effie. It's still 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
We
might be here all day.
And we've already got more points than last year.
We got NBA Finals tonight.
Right.
Yeah, they might have to get the DVR started for that
one,
Erik.
Well, I already set mine before this. But we'll see if the officials, how many of the officials are basketball fans. We'll figure it out.
I like seeing the referees out here in shorts, keeping it casual.
Absolutely.
You know, the dead of summer.
Right.
Yeah.
How about Jason Cox on that play? Little jail screen there. What a play. I will say this, Lucas kids understand the game of football.
For sure.
They really do. They are so well coached. Coach Spittler and that staff, they do a great job of coaching those players.
On the ground this time and just not anywhere to go yet again. That's Morris with the carry.
You know, even coming into this game, Effie, I liked the physicality of the South.
Right.
I really did. I mean, you know, we all three of us are blessed because we get to cover this area.
Sure.
And it's not regional, I mean, as far as physicality, but you can just tell styles and brands in schools just bring a certain physicality.
Shepard to the far sideline with the completion, though, here, and a much-needed first down.
Right. Beautiful catch right there on the sideline. But as you were saying, Erik, it is the physicality of the game and interior play and understanding. And these kids are at a different level of football understanding, a lot of them. You know, understanding down and distance, understanding, you know, the fact that in an all-star game, there's only so many things that they can do. But that is a big-time catch.
Well, actually, they just ruled it in.
Did they rule it in?
Yep.
Yeah, we just saw on the Bo Lacey construction replay, and Miles Bradley was very, defiantly saying incomplete, incomplete. Well, he was right.
He was right.
Right. Yeah, I thought I saw him kind of bobble it even as he was going out of bounds there. So, yep, the North team there bringing out the punt team here. So, I'll tell you what, if the South puts another one up here, man, this is going to be real tough. Of course, that makes for fun football here.
Well, I tell you, this is a bit of a shocker because we talked about how, the number of Shelby kids on the North team just gives them an offensive advantage. But here's a fake punt.
Oh, how about Andre?
Ain't working, baby.
Getting picked off by Butterman. Was not fooled. And now he's looking for some blocking to set up. Fisher able to drag him down, but all the momentum rolling in favor of the kids on the blue team.
Wow. Well, and I think, like you talked about, the momentum is there. And I just feel like even now, deep into this first quarter, the South kids are more into the football game. They're playing more real football, whereas it seems like it's taken a while for the North to get to realize, like, no, this is a football game. This is not like a showcase. This is a real football game. And the North kids, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they've been mixing it up offensively.
Right.
They've been running real plays based on down and distance. They have really been Coach Stover and his staff have really been looking at, okay, what should we run? It's 2nd and 4. What should we do here? And now with Brock Hill back in the quarterback, we're looking at, the whole gamut is wide open. We got the read option for him. He can throw short passes. Miles Bradley right now is uncovered at the moment. But, the South is really into this football game.
Hill looking that way. Now he scrambles right. Flag comes in. Think we're going to have a holding penalty as that's aired out. Grant Barrett of Lucas, who's in the backfield. Able to make the catch for 11, but pretty sure this one's coming back.
Yeah, I think you're going to be right there. Yeah, you got a hold coming back. I'll tell you what, Effie's touching on something that's really important is the fact that just the diversity of play calling on the South side is so much more advanced than the North. It really is. And because of that, they're actually giving the the North defense more to think about.
Right.
So even if I'm in man coverage, and Effie, you know this, I'm still taking a peek.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm still taking a peek. Well, that also presents an opportunity for the offense to now get a step or two ahead. So when you start getting eye-nosy, that's going to have an effect on what happened when Miles Bradley caught that touchdown pass.
Sure. And if you're Coach Mahaney, you had to think that coming in, look, I've got my quarterback, I got my receiving core. Like, we're going to be able to toss this ball around up and down the field all night. So when that doesn't work for you, now they've got to find some adjustments that are going to be effective against the South defense.
Barrett bouncing off of guys and got a decent gain here out to the 37-yard line after the penalty.
Yeah, simple counter there. Just bring that guard through, get up on that backer. I think Barrett knows how to run the football a little bit, too, in that Lucas program. When you think about teams coming into next year, I know we're in an all-star game here, but, every year, you think about the Cubs, they always respond. I'm going to be curious next year with the amount of linemen that they lost. They've got some skill coming back, but what's that line look like coming in? And they have that Week 3 matchup with Crestview, who I know is going to be good next year. I think if you're putting confidence points out there, you love that Cougar team going into the 2022 season.
Yeah, I think they would be definitely high up there on the totem pole. But Lucas, just by de facto of having Scott Spittler.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I love the Cubs Twitter page because of how hard them guys work.
Right.
And how hard did Paul Butterman have to work to get that last interception? We're going to throw it down to the field and hear from him right now. Looks like actually Paul's getting a drink or something.
Hey, you know what, man? He's a thirsty dude. That guy's got a TD. He's got an INT on a punt fake, but a punt fake. He's balling. He's probably working on his shoe deal down there.
Well, we were talking a little bit before the game about the NIL deals that some of these Buckeyes and other guys are getting. Brandon Armstrong, you said, just got a really nice-looking car. So the money out there is real, and I'm glad that these college athletes are able to dive into it. I was a little disappointed that OHSA chose to turn down the NIL for high school kids. But you know what? We've got Paul now.
All right, I'm here with Mount Gilead's Paul Butterman. Paul, you got an interception and a touchdown. Just walk me through how you're feeling here in the first half. What's the experience been like for you so far?
I'm feeling good. I'm loving it. All these guys, I love playing with them. Obviously, we're pretty much playing Shelby, so we got to, you know how they score, so it's not, it's not even near anything to, I want to win, so that's all I'm really here for.
All right. Yeah, Travis over here is telling me I need to ask about the gritty, and I see you're rocking a Supreme backplate. Just tell me about the swag you have to bring with you.
I love it. Look good, play good, that's what they say, so that's how I feel about it.
All right, Paul, good luck the rest of the way.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, back up to you, boys.
All right, appreciate it, Hayden. Here's Hill on the run. Threw it into traffic. Nice breakup that time by Morris.
Yeah, Morris a ball player. He's had a nice return, defensively solid. It's hard to get. It's been hard to get him going on the ground game. I think that his talent, as far as running the football, is better than we've seen tonight. That's not a fault to him. That's, like we were talking about at the beginning, the continuity of the offensive line. Shelby has these 3 or 4 guys that are here. Well, understand, Lucas has 2 or 3 guys on that O-line.
They do.
So power's power. Zone is zone.
Absolutely.
Like those things don't change, and those guys are used to that.
Right. And watching Brock Hill on that last play, throwing on him, that's his comfort zone. The rollout, the game, and even though that was off target, that's his comfort zone. Throwing off the run, and Erik, you mentioned how many plays he makes off script.
Look at this.
And here he is again.
Yeah, this one totally not off the script, but
man.
Took a big shot at the end. Brian Crabtree leveled him as he got across midfield, but pickup of about 20, I think, by Brock there.
Oh, they called a legal use of hands. Now, here's the thing. How does this work? So, do you want to take it back here, or do we have a is there a certain spot on the field you have to punt? Like, what are the rules with that? I'm asking because I don't know with this. I understand the defensive rules and stuff like that. I know you can't be empty for offense, but some all-star games there's quirky rules like that with on 4th down and a certain on a certain part you have to punt the ball.
Yeah, I don't think there's any special teams rules like that when it comes to this, but it would be a big decision because now they are backed up, but again, you got playmakers on the south, so you got to give them another play here.
That's a great point. It's 3rd and 41, and as crazy as this sounds, like you could get this if you get the right matchup.
Absolutely.
You could actually get this.
Well, they've got Miles Bradley locked up one-on-one here on the near side with Eli Fisher, and that's where Brock's heading with the football. Actually, it was a bit underthrown and looked like Stokes brought it in.
They got to go for it here.
Absolutely. How about Stokes? Well, they got 36 of it back.
Right.
30.
Well, they got it back. Absolutely.
How about him climbing the ladder, saying, I'm going to go ahead and snatch that one out of the sky.
Yeah, Stokes has made some plays here
today.
Yeah.
He's a ball player.
And again, this is a part of the year, and, we talk a lot about recruiting and how it helps, but this time of year, you never know. And what coaches would always tell us this time of year at All-Star games and even during training and camps and that, you don't know who's watching. You have no clue, and no deal is done until you step on campus. So it pays to play well in these All-Star games. There's Stokes again.
And he's got the first down. Unbelievable that they were able to cover all that ground in 2 plays.
40. Well, they even got a little extra. They got 43 in 2 plays. Yeah, that's. But here's the thing. Here's what I give credit to here. Brock Hill understanding the situation. You got to kind of chuck it there on. You got man coverage, so you know that going into it. Why not let your 6'4" wide receiver, Harding did have this year. They had a good quarterback, and they had 2 good wide receivers, and he's one of them.
Should be the final play here, barring a penalty of the opening quarter, which has taken 45 minutes, folks. Wow. A lot of fireworks and haymakers thrown there in the first 12 minutes. They're in the books. Join us for quarter number 2 right after this.
If you're looking for the best pre-owned vehicles in Ontario, then stop by New Haven Auto Sales today and let my dad, Craig Underwood, the car guy, help you into the car, truck, or SUV that fits your lifestyle and budget. Hi, I'm Carter Underwood, and we specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles and unmatched customer service. We also pride ourselves in our competitive prices and variety of financing options. We're New Haven Auto Sales, 3690 Park Avenue West, Ontario. Visit newhavenautosales.com.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
The sun beginning to set here on the Clear Fork Valley, and we're just kicking off the second quarter. And it's this connection right now. Hill to Stokes, 3 straight plays, and look at Wesley just ripping through would-be defenders, man.
Yeah, that's a great looking play. They're keeping it simple.
Right.
Just pitch and catch. That's essentially just a little choice route. He's just turning, boom, it's right there. If the defense is playing off, sit. If he comes up, go by him, right? So they do have that connection. And what Effie was talking about Madison and Mansfield. Well, back in the day, right. Mansfield and Harding, that was a heck of a rivalry as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know they brought it back this year.
Yeah.
Right. I'm excited to see that, actually, by the way.
Keeping Stokes involved. Woo! Went up and over the top of Blaine Bowman. Didn't get anything out of it, but
looks pretty.
Nice
still going to make the highlight reel.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think it's important for the North, just like they did. They got a lot of penetration, a lot of guys in the backfield trying to make a play, and that's what the North has got to do. Their defensive line has got to step up here, and I think they're understanding now that the South is running power, they're running counter, they're running quarterback counter, they're doing a lot of things up front. But the defensive line is going to be the key. The North defensive line has got to get pressure on the quarterback, and they have got to affect this game and take control of the line of scrimmage.
Little misstep there, little snap there, kind of rolled it back there. And that's going to happen. I'm telling you, as the game goes on, you're going to see fatigue plays like that, where it's just maybe a lapse with discipline, eyes, just cramping, that was brought up earlier. I mean, those things are all a reality because I know a lot of these guys are working out, but still, they're not in four-quarter game shape.
Right.
They've had 4 practices.
Right.
Hill going to the end zone.
Oh, man.
We've seen Melchiori. I think he made the catch of the year on OH Report, a one-handed snag.
I remember that.
He almost had
OBJ style.
he almost had another opportunity there. And see, I like that shot, though. That's a nice shot. That's what you want to do. Find that matchup you like and go after it. So, hey, we do know this. 4th down means nothing right now.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it is a big down for the North defense.
It is. You're right.
They have got to get off the field here on this play and try to get some momentum going themselves. Seems like things have been going wrong since that first drive for the North. So this is a big play for the North defense.
South can pick up a first down inside the 8. Hill rolls left, throws that way. Bradley comes back to the football, and a nice tackle made by Andre Hill.
It's a great tackle.
Absolutely.
Andre Hill heading to Mount Union, earning every one of the Purple Raider points right there, trying to lasso Miles Bradley down right there. That's a tough ass. So that's actually a great job by Andre Hill. It was funny because I saw Miles and Stokes both talking to each other as they went out. I was thinking, like, I wonder if Miles was saying, you know what, this one's going to me this time.
There was a look at that Melchiori catch against Northmore, the one-hander.
Awesome. Yeah, Andre Hill, that was a great defensive play.
Yeah.
And a huge momentum shift is what they needed. Let's see if this offense can get going.
Now, is they going to get in trouble for breaking with 12?
No way, man. We got to get on.
I know, I agree with you.
They got Kobe Allen in at quarterback. He's going to
go.
hand off, and here comes Morris near side, big hole.
Oh, my.
Morris showing off the wheels down to the 40-yard line. Huge play, right on cue.
Absolutely. Just what the North needed, a big play on the ground because they have to start establishing themselves in the rushing game. At this point, the passing attack has just been a bit off for them. They've got to establish more of a complete offensive showcase right now in this drive, and right there is a big play that they needed. Nice run and able to get into South territory in the first play.
Yes, just momentum, getting a first down, keeping your defense off the field. That's a big play right there.
Allen's going to turn and hand off again, and one more time, the offensive line creating some space. Nobody touching Sanders until he's drugged down inside the 25.
Well, see, it's a big difference when you, as a defensive lineman, when you've been used to getting 70% or 80% to 20% pass blocking. They've been pass block, show pass, and then now they're coming off the ball. That's an adjustment. That's going to be an adjustment. So right now, the North doing good and made a quarterback change. Kobe Allen now at quarterback. So they've had a change in philosophy here offensively for the North.
And it looks like 3 Shelby Whippets along the offensive front right now, so you got that continuity. Hankey comes in. Looks like we're going to have a flag here.
Yeah, these guys don't like basketball.
You're exactly right. Oh, man, are they calling that on the edge? If they're calling that on Andre Hill, I can't believe it.
I
almost thought they were going to call back maybe an illegal crack block or something like that, but I didn't think it was a hold.
Well,
it's an all-star game.
Andre felt the same way. I saw the level of confusion on his face.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with Effie. I think these guys, I don't think they know there's a basketball game tonight, Brian.
For everybody who's tuning in right now, want to encourage you to drop us a comment. Could end up on our fan zone here tonight, so be a part of the broadcast with us. Let us know where you're watching from. Always love to see the different parts of the country people are tuning in from. Tell us about some of your favorite players, who you're rooting for, all that good stuff, and we will make you a part of the program.
It's a good look there by Kobe Allen. See, I like that play call.
Yeah,
just in general,
absolutely.
I like that play call. That's something quick. It's decisive. You're away. I believe they had trips there. That's a nice, safe play. Plus, they're teammates. So, that's something they've done a whole lot in practice. Like Effie alluded to, there's some continuity and familiarity there.
Right, and even though they've got, it's second and long here, you throw a 7-yard out, you catch it. Even if, it works, you're playing real football. And I don't know how many times I've said that, but right now it looks like the North now is starting to play real football. And they're running the football and they're calling plays for down and distance.
Man, what a play there by Jacob Arndt.
The Marion Harding product is able to slip by a blocker.
Man, that's a read and react right there. That's a great football play right there. He shot that window. That's a nice-looking play right there. Really nice-looking play. 5'11", 196 pounds, like you said, for Marion Harding. People don't realize, man, Harding has good football players. Man, they're eventually going to put that thing together. They have too many athletes running around Harding High School not to, continue to compete at the top of that OCC.
Well, and you know that because anytime you look at
MLAC.
you look at the track standings, Harding is always has guys in the track, in the state track meet. So they'll always tell you they got athletes in the building. They got speed on those teams.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That one batted down at the line of scrimmage. Carson Fickner, second-team All-Ohioan from Colonel Crawford, able to get a couple paws on it. And that'll bring up 4th down, 20 yards needed here.
Well, here we go. You know what's funny is Marshall Shepard play. People are probably thinking like, man, is everybody else playing quarterback? Well, that just ended the first quarter. They might be going by quarter.
Right,
See,
exactly.
the South might be going by series, whereas the North might be going by quarter.
Yeah.
So we didn't have an opportunity, to see anybody else play quarterback. So Kobe Allen out here gunslinging.
He's going to need to here on 4th and long. 3 receivers to the left. And he's going to the end zone. Got Bowman!
Oh.
He can't corral it off the fingertips. Second drop today by Blaine.
Yeah, and you know what? That was a good pass.
That was a great pass.
The QB there put that ball right where it had to go. So Blaine Bowman there with the little bit of the dropsies there. So here we go. Here comes that South offense looking to add to this lead.
Well, and I think the North had the right idea there. That's a great throw, great opportunity. Offensive line with great protection. And, that was a nice call, and they mixed up their play calling. They ran some power, quick out, then throw a post over the top. I like what the North done that offensive series, just wasn't able to get it done. But as you said, now they've got to face this South offensive attack that has been solid since that first quarter.
So after the stop, they're going to keep it on the ground with Mollenkoff. Weaving around to the outside, flag comes in. I think they're going to get Wesley Stokes here for a hold.
Yeah. I think he was good. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to turn him like that. I'll tell you what. I mean, just keep your hands inside. Just do that stalk ball. Just give your back a read. You know what I mean? And he did that early. I don't think he had to do that. I will say this, and Effie, I know you're going to appreciate this as a QB. I love the fact he's out there blocking.
For sure. For sure.
I mean, an all-star game for you to get called for holding, that means there's effort somewhere in there, Brian.
Right, and like you said, he did. I don't think he had.
No.
He tried to finish the block.
That's right.
I don't think he necessarily had to, but it shows that aggressiveness and aggression he's playing with. And, and I don't know. I know they're rotating guys in, and there's not as many numbers, but it seems like Stoke has been in every single play.
Oh, yeah. He's kind of their guy. Miles Bradley right now is having a quick blow here. Him and Brock Hill are just kind of hanging out down here waiting for their next series.
Throw to the outside, and again it's Stokes. This time he doesn't bring it in, incomplete. So quickly it's going to be, I think it'll be 3rd and long, right?
Yeah. Yep. I think. We had a.
Yeah, we did have a penalty, didn't we?
Yep.
2nd and long then.
Second long.
But
Although
you're
this
right.
quarter does seem to be moving a little bit quicker, Brian.
Yeah, we're about halfway through this one.
That's right.
After the 45-minute marathon that was the first, but there was a lot to unpack there from that first quarter.
There was.
The North comes out, slings it down the middle, big play. We thought, hey, this Shelby connection could see a lot more of this. Haven't since. South team, 21 straight points. And they've got the football with Mollenkoff getting back some of those penalty yards out to the 39.
I like that. That play is very simple.
Yeah.
That stretch play. Attack the sideline until someone makes you, cut it in. So you're essentially sprinting to the sideline. But that's a tough ask for your receivers because that's a long time to hold a block. So sometimes your best offense there can just be running those DBs off.
Right. And Mollenkoff, who's a great back, can that's the beauty of zone blocking schemes. You give the back the opportunity to cut, and he's got great vision. He can cut up the field and read those blocks.
He'll be attending Wittenberg University next year. Planning to join the military in the future.
How about that? I'll tell you what, Wittenberg, if he plays down there, that's Stanley Steamer money down there. They have an indoor facility down at Wittenberg.
Oh,
is that right?
I'm not joking. Oh,
Let's go.
They have a legit 100-yard field indoor facility down at Wittenberg.
Wow.
Just outside of Springfield.
I did not know that. I guess it's been a while since I've been on that campus with it. Yeah.
Right. He could definitely play ball there. He's a hard-nosed football player.
Continue to keep it on the ground here. Hickman calls his own number, and I think we got another flag.
Uh-oh. That's coming from the big guy. That's coming from the referee right there.
So it's going to be another holding penalty. North will have to overcome this one as well if they want to keep the drive going.
Well, we talked about, I said holding earlier is a sign of effort, but sometimes it's also a sign of fatigue.
Right.
You get a little sloppy with that technique here. Sure. And here's the thing, in a game like this, if it's not directly affecting a play, you're probably going to let that
Exactly.
go.
So when I saw the referee pull that out, he threw it with some aggression. That lets you know that had a big effect on the outcome of the play. Yep. And Brian, you were talking earlier. We were talking a little bit about the NIL and the OHSAA's decision not to go that route with high school players. And it's one of those things, like most things in my life. I see both sides.
Right.
I really do. But I think for me, you do want to maintain the purity and not compromise these guys. And they're going to be. I think I've always enjoyed, being what I call hood famous. You know what I mean? And it's okay. It's okay to just be hood famous. You don't have to be famous as a high school kid. You know what I mean? The neighborhood loves you. Your community loves you. And that should be enough for you at the high school level.
Well, to take it to the next level, for a lot of these guys, high school and being hood famous is as big as it gets in terms of athletics.
Absolutely.
So if that's the only time that you can actually profit off of it, I was a big proponent of why not?
Sure.
I'd love to be able to sponsor some kids and pay them to wear some OH Report shirts around the hallways.
Right. I get it.
Like
I said, I see both sides.
Big ball up in the air. A lot of contact. No whistle. And Melchiori.
There's a late flag.
Oh.
He threw
For
it
right
late.
now, he's strolling in, and unfortunately.
Oh, he threw it late.
Eli Fisher of St. Paul down and is injured, holding his right knee.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay there. Because that's what you don't want to see in games like this. You don't see any injuries out here. And here's the thing with that NIL, Brian, now that we got a little bit of time, I do believe in a little bit more of the purity on this side of it, the high school side of it. There's a locker room to think about.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of things going on. There can even be, you hate to say this, but even politicking even within your town over who's getting it and who's not.
Exactly.
That's what I'm concerned with when you start getting on that level. And now I think we're all in agreement. College players, no problem with them getting paid.
Because they're adults.
Yes.
And I do understand.
Right.
We're talking about kids, most of them under 18.
Right.
Well, and it's too much money. The thing about college, they could no longer deny.
Agree it.
Like when you got the coaches making millions, the
Right.
athletic directors making millions, the schools making
Right.
Everybody's making, the whole industry is now billions of dollars. They could no longer ignore that, the actual, the product, just ignoring the product.
Right.
Now, the high school thing, I us here at the OH Report, like you mentioned, we would love to have sponsor kids, but whenever you bring money into it, there's going to be there's a criminal element somewhere in it, and maybe not criminal, but certainly underhanded element that you got to be aware of. And I can see schools and other, maybe there's a company, a factory in another community that says, hey, look, I'll give you an NIL deal. How about you guys move over to this community and play? You know what I mean? And that's the thing, and that's why I think it's important that you're careful with that with high school.
I agree. Choky. Effie,
I agree
with you.
People do that all the time.
Yeah, I agree with you 110% on that. I know it's impossible to be 110, but that's how much I'm on your side with this. I'm worried about a guy from Mansfield. Let's say I get Avion Gross, right? We'll use him. And a private school contacts him and says, hey, come on down. We got donors here.
Right.
$35,000. Come on,
sure.
That's what I don't want to see with high school athletics. Not that it doesn't happen a little bit now. We all know, guys. Listen, it's an imperfect system, no matter what you do. But that's, for me, that's my big concern. Whereas at the collegiate level, let's be honest, your top 30 to 35 schools, they're playing a different.
Those are pros. Anyway.
Yes, they really
are. Those kids are pros.
And I have no problem with Texas, Alabama, State, even that whole issue with Nick Saban. To me, that was more of he was trying to get more money out of the pockets of his donors than it was.
We knew what he was
doing. That's the way
I
saw it.
Right.
That's the way I saw it.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I don't want going on. Like, I don't want Coach Mahaney having to go downtown saying, hey, there's a guy in Mansfield. We'd like to come to Shelby. You know what I mean? I mean, that could happen. It can work both ways.
Exactly.
I think you guys have swayed me over to
See
the
what
other
I mean?
side.
Right. No, because I think, and Brian, I know you as a pristine business owner who understands that, the purity of the game and trying to look out for the kids, that would be your perspective.
Right.
And that would be great. But there's always that, the underhandedness will always show its face when money's involved.
Fair. Maybe we can get some kids to wear some OH Report shirts anyway.
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
about that?
That's free pub
Yeah,
right
right,
there.
right.
Absolutely. Maybe give them a taco or something. Kids are easy, man. You give kids a free shirt
food?
and a meal,
Let's
I'm telling
go.
you, they're in. They're in. Brennan had that deal with McDonald's. Everybody's asking his brother today, man, does your brother get free sausage egg McMuffins? And what's he getting out of that? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know what my brother's getting out of that. But I do believe that those college guys, I have no problem with them bettering their situations at all.
Yeah, that's cool. You said he was able to get himself a new Mustang. I know Cade Stover's got a new 3 trucks or something that he's sporting.
Right.
Ooh, what college did Effie, Coach Stover, Coach Bradley, and all play for? Well, of course, I know the answer. Oh, intercepted here on the near sideline.
Nice ball right there. That was a nice INT right there.
Sanders got 2 feet in.
Right.
As you'll see on the Bo Lacey Construction replay, this is an NFL INT.
Wow. Man. Big play. Great hand.
Excellent coverage there, too. Connor Harper was the intended target, but hold the phone.
Oh, my goodness.
I think we're setting an all-star record tonight.
Hey, what do we got here?
They might have to turn the light. They might actually have to turn the lights on. Really, we might really have to turn the lights on.
Yeah, we haven't even hit the, the 20th or 21st here, that longest day where, it's light out till 10 or 10:15. We're battling. We're working towards that. I think C.J. Stroud got a Bentley while we're talking about NIL. That
yeah,
right there.
I got to look that up.
I could see Effie toting around Mansfield in a Bentley. Yeah. That'd be okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine with me.
Think about this. See, you played scholarship football. You played. Well, I don't want to give away the trivia question or whatever someone put there, but you played college football. I mean, think about that. If someone would have said, Effie, there's a dealership. We want to give you either a car. We want to give you $30,000. Will you do a 30-second ad for us? You're saying, yeah, let's do it.
No question.
Right.
No question about it. And for us, even as players at the college level, it wasn't even that big. It was the fact that, we had, it would be – they would be selling our number like, some of the the better players on the team. Their T-shirt would have the number on it. They'd be on sale in the bookstore.
Right.
Well, that's all well and nice. It doesn't have your name on it, but everybody knows who it is.
Right.
And, you can't make any money off that. So.
Right. Hey, the good news out of this, boys, is we got NC2A back.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Look at this.
And now we got
look at these guys.
Travis Berardi, our 17th year senior, still cutting it up on the sidelines. Got to give it to him. He's trying to get a JV roster spot out there somewhere. And we got another hanky.
Wow.
Well, I'll go ahead and give away the answer to tonight's trivia question presented by Erik Jones on Facebook. Do you want? Well, you know the answer, right, Erik?
Effie. Oh, absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
Well, Effie, why don't you tell him, actually?
Well, and also we're getting ready to add another one to the list right up out here on the field.
Another
Bradley going.
Bowling Green State University. And here's the caveat to that bonus question, Erik Jones, the gentleman who asked the question, was also a BGSU
Right,
Falcon.
that's what I was getting ready to say. I knew that. I knew that as well.
A lot of Falcons in the conversation right there. So 1st and 20. Clock rolling down, 3:30 before halftime. Big pop backside. I think it's going to go down as an incomplete pass. It will, but how about the pressure by Caleb Baker?
Yeah, Caleb Baker just beat his man. That was he made a great swim move to the outside and just beat his man and got a clear run at the quarterback. Great move on the offensive lineman and a great hit and a big play for the North defense. And that's one of the things that they've been looking for and they've been needing, frankly, in this game to kind of swing the momentum in their favor.
Molenkoff, I think, was going for a little arrow route out of the backfield.
Right, yeah.
He just didn't quite have enough time to get that play off.
And that's one of the things we talked about. With this man coverage, your offensive line has got to hold up.
He's got him. There it is.
There it is.
Hickman
they ran it again.
Down the middle.
Man.
Get it out of the hands of Molenkoff.
Yeah.
Boy, he's twitchy, isn't he? And here's the thing, that's got to be a backer. That is a mismatch, period. This is the game of football, like you were saying, when you're saying they're playing football. That's the stuff we're talking about. Right. That's where the South has been, I feel like, a step ahead.
Absolutely.
And just understanding, man, we got a really quick back here, and it's not fair to have a linebacker run with this guy because in a normal situation, no team is going to, you're going to be in some kind of a zone or you're going to have a safety check down and take that back out. You don't want to have that type of twitch differential.
Right, and you saw that play before, and they saw from the sideline like, no, he can't stay with him, so they ran it again. And I like the play call.
Stokes and Bradley in the slot. They're going to go to the outside. Here is Wesley one-on-one. And wasn't able to get around the defender. It was Schaefer on the coverage. Incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, I'm telling you what, Caleb Baker is having his way with the left tackle for the South. He has really been able to get pressure on the quarterback. He is playing hard off that end. He has been in the backfield just about every play here this series. So he is playing hard, making a difference, making the quarterback get rid of the football a step quicker than he'd like to.
Yeah, he's got quick hands and feet. His hips are loose. He's a really nice ball player.
One of 7 Whippets representing tonight.
Oh, boy.
By far the most of any high school.
Oh.
Coach is like, doggone it. I love it. That's great. See, here, that's not an issue.
Right.
On a Friday night, that is a flag.
Absolutely. And I thought they was going to throw one.
I did
I'm
too.
like, don't throw it.
And here's what people have to understand as well with that. When you said, like, Shelby had 7 guys. When you have guys that have been selected that don't show up,
you get a pick.
Yeah, you
right.
kind of get to fill in. Let's be honest, you've only got a few days. And when you find out on a Tuesday, okay, we got 3 or 4 guys that aren't playing,
no way.
You've got to kind of pull a few guys in,
yeah.
and you know how to contact those guys quickly.
Sure.
I'll tell you what, it's I think it's imperative right now that the North gets in the end zone here.
You know, and Kobe Allen, who I thought had a great series last series, running the football and throwing the football, back in at quarterback.
Keep it on the ground with Morris. He's out across the 40-yard line. He's had a couple of nice runs here lately.
Yeah, good play call. Sorry, Brian. Good play call right there. Both running backs are very similar. Their styles are very similar. They're kind of built low to the ground, power guys. I know just talking to Marshall Shepard before the game night on the field, he said that. He's like, hey, the running back from Crestview is a ball player. That's exactly what he said. He goes, Coach, I was able to play with Owen Fisher. He goes, he's very Owen Fisher-like.
And what he was able to do for the Cougars this past year is he was on the field for every single play, offense, defense, special teams. He's one of those kind of guys. So is Andre Hill.
Wow. Now that looked like a simple catch, but that was a great catch by Andre Hill. May have mistimed his jump a little bit, but caught that thing with his fingertips. Miles Bradley coming in to make the hit, and he held on to the football. That was a great catch.
Yeah, he got tagged.
By Andre Hill, yeah.
Miles is like, hey, Andre, you're in. But you know what, though? Those two have been going at it all night in a good way, meaning like competing because, Andre had the tackle earlier on Miles.
Yeah. And I think they're guarding each other purposely.
Allen near side, Filiator in and out of his hands.
Yeah. And that's a little bit of a low ball. And, in a real live situation, game situation, when you got a quarterback who is a solid quarterback. Kobe White is a really solid quarterback, maybe not on Marshall Shepard's level, but you got to help your quarterback out.
Yes.
We're trying to get into the end zone, get some more points here before halftime. You got to make plays for your quarterback, especially when you're throwing a 7-8 yard out.
Yep. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Like you said, I've been very impressed with Kobe. I think he's had a good second quarter here.
Fumbles the football here, though. Tried to pick it up about 3 different times and had butter on his fingers and just couldn't get it off.
Well, see, and that's a huge miss. They had a great opportunity, I think, there. Now bringing up 3rd and long, it changes. Now, and I can say now, Erik, I think that both coaches are now they're playing real football now.
Right, agreed.
Both coaches are really playing real football, and now they've got to look at this 3rd and long and say, okay, we're really in, we're 4 down territory. It doesn't matter what. So I've got to try to get positive yards on this play and set myself up for a 4th and short.
Both defenses have been fantastic here in the second. No points scored in this stanza as Allen not able to escape the pressure. Dropped down on the play. Last contact by Drew Blauser.
Yeah, I'm with Effie. I'm going to go back to what Effie said actually about 10, 15 seconds before that play. Right. you don't necessarily have, in that situation, you don't have to eat the whole elephant, as they would say. I think, a little swap and stop, as a lot of guys call it, because they did that little swap route with 2 and 3. And if you looked at the South's defense, even Miles Bradley and that crew, they were 12 yards off. Right. So go ahead and kind of, you're coming off that ball hard, and then just settle those feet at about 8 to 10 yards, turn, and that ball should be there. And then that gives you a really manageable 4th down.
Right.
Going to get our first timeout here of the opening half.
How about that?
30 seconds to go with the second quarter.
So it's going to be the North trying to come up with something here on a 4th and 21.
So let me ask you this, Effie, because you've played in this. I would assume you've coached in this as well. What are you doing right now if you're the North team? What are you doing offensively in that huddle right now?
Well, right now with 4th and long, I'm at this point, where is my playmaker? And, I'm giving my playmaker an opportunity to get his hands on the football. Now, it doesn't have to be a deep ball down the field necessarily. I really would like we've seen Andre Hill with the 10 to 12-yard whip routes, deep out routes that he's run. I'd like to see him run an option route, maybe get him open in the middle of the field in that man coverage and catch the ball at 8 to 10 and see if he can break a tackle.
Right.
Because I think at this point with Kobe White trying to get the ball downfield, it's tough. I'd rather make sure we have a route that we know we can complete, get the ball in the hands of a guy that can break a tackle and possibly get this first down or possibly score on the play. But it'll never work if he never gets the ball in his hand.
Well, and this has to be said. Look at that secondary right now. Look what you have for the South squad. You've got Butterman. You've got Miles Bradley. You've got Brock Hills in. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got some dudes out there. You've even got Wesley Stokes from so you got 6'4" out there at quarter. Yeah. So they've made their common sense adjustment.
Right, exactly.
Nobody right now guarding Blaine Bowman really picked up now over the middle as Allen's flushed 3 flags on the field.
Something had to happen pre-snap.
Yeah.
Are they offsides maybe? Yeah, I think they were offsides.
Eli Grandstaff from Highland, their linebacker there, he was like, hey, what's going on here? You can see him hopping around out there like, what are we doing here, man? So I don't know what happened there.
A little bit more manageable.
Did they not blow it to start? Oh, no, we got – they gained some yardage here.
I think it was either an offsides or an illegal blitz, maybe.
Yeah, that could be.
Which
would make
fire in? Yeah.
Well, but he's playing that 3 technique down here, so I don't think it was him because he's not blitzing. But you're right, it's got to be one of those. Yeah. But you're right,
that's
though.
Tough on a rollout.
It is.
Though.
Agreed, because you're coached as a backer. That's a jet blitz right now, automatic.
And Kobe White that time rolled out to his right.
Here he is again, going to his right, coming inside. Ball is loose on the ground.
All right. Well, he took one right under the chin.
North is able to fall on it. Not going to matter. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, that was a shot. Kobe's slow getting up, but he took one right under the chin.
You got to give him credit, man. That dude, Kobe's stepping up into the pocket, trying to buy that extra half second to let that thing fly. I know he was going to the right side. It looked like Deuce with swap. That's really what it looked like there. And that's why you're seeing Miles so far off. See, he's a smart athlete. Absolutely. What do I mean by that? If he plays 5 yards, you get lost in the swap. Play over top of it and react to it because you're not throwing that short.
Right. Yeah.
So he's almost playing that from 10 to 12 yards and working outside. That's a smart move. See, that's a smart football player. That's a guy who's played high-level football for a long time and coached really well at Mansfield.
17 seconds. They'll just keep it on the ground here. Mollenkoff shakes off a couple of defenders. Not the second wave. Dropped in the backfield. And that should take us into the half. 21-6 your score. The same as it was to start the second quarter. Great defensive effort there by both squads. Taking us 24 minutes into the books. We've got no kicking competition here at the half.
We'll tell you before the game, Brian?
Yeah, we'll tell you how it all shook out before the game. We did crown a winner. That's all on the other side.
Keep it
love
here.
it. I love it.
If you're looking for the best pre-owned vehicles in Ontario, then stop by New Haven Auto Sales today and let my dad, Craig Underwood, the car guy, help you into the car, truck, or SUV that fits your lifestyle and budget. Hi, I'm Carter Underwood, and we specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles and unmatched customer service. We also pride ourselves in our competitive prices and variety of financing options. We're New Haven Auto Sales, 3690 Park Avenue West, Ontario. Visit newhavenautosales.com.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
It's halftime here in the stunning Clear Fork Valley. We're 2 quarters in the books. The South All-Stars own a 21-6 lead over the North. 3 straight touchdowns for the South in that first quarter to overtake them for the lead. I'm Brian Skowronski. Got Effie, James, and Erik Will with me. Sorry it took us a minute to come back. We were having a phenomenal discussion about which Rocky movie is the best, and my 2 counterparts here both believe that it is Rocky 3. I know for a fact that it's Rocky 2. I would love to hear from you, the fans out there on the Facebook and the YouTube. Comment, and I need some validation that Rocky 2 is the best. My order actually goes like this. I would have 2 as my favorite, then number 4, then number 1, and I actually got number 3.
Are you kidding me?
At number 4
no
on my list, guys.
No
Come
way,
on.
man.
You know what's funny is nobody ever says that. I will say this. We can all agree on this. Nobody ever puts 1 as the best.
Well, I'm going to tell you this.
Well,
Rocky, one, I liked 1 because, see, I'm different. I like 1 much better than I liked 4. Only because now, you know,
That's a hot take.
I'm a story guy. I get it. But the authenticity and the rawness of 1, and plus 1 ended in a way that you're like,
yes,
I could see that.
Right.
Where the production value in 4, and to some degree even 3, even though I'm a 3 guy, but the production value in 4 is like it's all set up. The screen, the music, and Apollo dies. You know, everything is set up for him to come back and be the champ. But 1 is like raw and authentic, and Rocky's in his rawest form.
Right.
And he gives it all he has. And sometimes in real life, you give it all you have, and it's not going to line all up.
It's the greatest underdog story ever.
Right. Well, 1's relatable. That's right.
1 sets the tone,
I
though.
agree.
1 sets
I
the
agree
tone.
with that. I agree with that. The whole storyline's phenomenal, which actually gives you a whole other appreciation for Sylvester Stallone and how brilliant he is with writing this.
Sure.
That and the Rambos and the whole 9 yards. But for me, I would go 3 or 4. Okay, depending on the day, but I would probably go with 3. 3, I really like 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go 4, then 2. That would be my sequence as far as that goes. But I think we all love 1. I mean, if you're, you know, and what I love about it is you have to show them in order. It's not, you know, you ask people about Star Wars or these other things, and there's different ways that you can watch them, or, you know, you can see like the Marvel. What you know, how are you going to watch them?
Yeah, Rocky, you got to see the evolution of the character.
You got to see the character, absolutely, and I like that. But man, I'll tell you what, that was. How about you saying 1 over 4?
Now look, I like 3 was my all-time favorite. 3 was my favorite. I thought Rocky, for the first time, I thought was legitimately scared.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? I didn't think in no other fight. Now he was a little bit apprehensive against Apollo in 2. He was really concerned in 4, especially but he was scared of Clubber Lang. You know what I mean? He was absolutely scared of Clubber Lang in 3. And I could appreciate that. I thought 3 had a great story. It was great. Even though the fights weren't as long as Brian pointed out, the fights were intense. Like, they were intense. Everything that was shown was intense. That's why I like 3.
Here's another thing about 3. Hulk Hogan made an appearance.
True.
I do like that scene.
True.
Come on now.
That's a fun little battle
Hold
right there.
on. Here's a fact, or here's a little trivia. What's the name of Hulk Hogan's character?
Oh, Thunderlips.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
Hey, listen, just having a little fun here, man.
I got that whole series on box set from the time that I was a little youngster. We had the VHS, Erik.
Oh, yeah. Last question. And you can think about this because we can do it as we go through the broadcast. What's your favorite sports movie of all time?
Oh, jeez.
Woo. Wow, that's tough.
I'm going to let you chew on that.
We have to think about that.
We'll go as we,
That's a lot of them.
Right.
That's a lot of them.
Right.
Well, back to action here at the All-Star Game. Love to hear from you guys, though, about the best Rocky movie. I think definitely the best scene. I get goosebumps. I'm thinking about it right now already. My hair standing up when Adrian comes out that coma.
No, agreed.
Just win.
Nope,
and then he starts doing the push-ups with the shirt on.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
Runs through Philadelphia like Brian runs through Mansfield.
Right.
That's right. You guys can catch me on the streets these days. And actually, I love the new technology of how it tracks the run and the different neighborhoods that I go through, because what my goal actually – it initially started, my friend did an ultra marathon 2 weeks ago to raise money for cancer. He does 100 miles in one day. He just did it in 20 hours.
Now, hold on. Let me ask you this. Was that the Mohican?
No, he lives in Tennessee. He's a Crestview kid. I met him in Ohio, but he lives down in Knoxville now. And
Those things are crazy.
I wanted to be a part of it, but we were just too busy. Had too many teams still playing in baseball and softball tournament. But I was like, man, I'd like to go down and run 10 of those miles. But I wasn't going to do the 100. I mean, that's a death wish.
Depends what that playlist is, Brian.
Yeah, that's true, though.
Right, true.
That's true. The Rocky playlist. That'll get you through at least 50. I'll tell you that. Rocky IV best soundtrack, though? Can we all universally agree on that?
No question.
I agree with that. Yes, absolutely. Because you get the Eye of the Tiger, which was, by the way, in 3 before it became in 4.
Right. Well, and I think before it, the Eye of the Tiger was when that movie came out, and I don't know. Like, there was a question about making that, like, our fight song, like the real fight song. They were going to replace T.Y. for Tigers and put that.
Well, speaking of T.Y., we've got Ty Stover down on the sideline right now with our Travis Berardi. Let's hear from him. What you got for us, Coach?
All right, Coach, 21-6, you guys are up right now, 21 unanswered points. What do you like right now?
Oh, they're playing hard as they can play. I tell you what, I thought we had 2 more scores right there, but it didn't happen. So it would be nice to see 35 on the board. But they're playing hard. They've made some plays, and that's what counts.
Defensively, what are you looking for right here? Take me through the setup that you have.
Right now, we knew they'd come out with Marshall, so we put in our best, and hopefully we can get some pressure like this. He got us on the edge. But then just playing tough. They got great skilled guys. And we need to get a little bit, like I said, a little bit more pressure and dial it up and make one more play on defense would be nice.
Yeah, and Coach, you guys love coaching football. Just feel being able to get an extra coaching in here for this All-Star game.
I told our coaching staff that it's great for us because we have coaches that we're not really new, but to Highland they're new. So it was a good thing to get us in the group and just build that coaching staff morale. We call it fellowship in our place. So our fellowship is real tight and it feels good to be underneath the lights again.
I know at your practices you guys were getting some trick plays going. Are we going to see any of that in the second half?
We should see it one more time, hopefully. I'm hoping to. We should have connected on the first one.
Yeah.
We might see something right here. Nope. Anyway, sorry.
I'll let you set that up. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
I appreciate you, Trav, and Coach Stover. On the field, we saw deep shot taken for Gabe Smedley just out of the reach on a 3rd down play, setting up that 4th. And another great opportunity here for the South All-Stars, coached by that man right there, to keep extending this lead. And before the game, looking at the rosters, talking with some of the crew members and some others that were out here at the facility, a lot were picking the North All-Stars. Matter of fact, I got a 10 push-up bet today. I'm getting 6.5 points, and I took the South.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I like the South. I like the physicality. I go back. I said that earlier. I really like the physicality of the South, and I liked and X factors like Miles Bradley, the receiving core that we have, even represented from Harding. I like those kids.
Wow. Got a flag now. 2 flags on the field as Freeman broke loose down that far sideline.
Coach Stover's got a celebrity look like. Who's the guy that did Deal or No Deal?
Howie Mandel.
Yeah, looks a little bit like Howie Mandel. A touch. I'm not saying it's but I mean, like he could be in that ballpark.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at his picture here on the official game program.
I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not spot on. But I'll tell you what, he's got great pedigree. He was a big walnut. Like I alluded to Scott Wetzel being on his staff. Highland's got a great staff. I hope the people down there realize it. There's a lot of credibility down there. Even one of their younger coaches, a guy named Joey Longino, I think, helping out with them. He's a Liberty guy. He was an All-Ohio quarterback. I mean, they've got a really nice-looking staff down there at Highland. I didn't realize that was their staff.
Got a good-looking program right now, too. Made the playoffs last couple of seasons. And Brock Hill's in trouble. He's going to get drugged down. 3 players all combining in there for the stop. Caden Clapper.
Well, yeah, in that play right there, you can see, Brock Hill held it a little long. I think Bradley ran a quick stop route, and I think, Brock had his eyes downfield and held on the ball just a little bit long. And, again, sometimes when you get a little lead, sometimes you get a little cute and want to pour it on a little bit, and you don't go back to the fundamental plays that you were making to get the lead. So that was a big play, though, by the North defense. There's the play they were running. They won it last time.
Got a comment comes in that Ty Stover kind of looks like PJ Fleck.
Yeah, a little bit. That's a good. That's another good one. Good job. Now, whoever did that gets a little credit. We got to shout that name out. That's good.
That's Erik Jones.
Good job, hey,
coming
Erik
in with that
Jones,
one too.
man. Good job, Erik.
The only comment I see right now regarding the Rocky series is a vote for Rocky IV as the best of all time.
Listen, man.
I think it's so easy to be a 4 guy.
Right.
You know,
right.
It's so easy to be a 4
It's a
person.
safe
You know what I
answer.
mean? It's
a safe answer.
You know, everybody loved 4.
Right.
4 was a cult, was a pop culture phenomenon.
It was.
I get it.
Well, when he starts training up in those mountains,
Yeah,
my
agree.
guy.
Agree.
Oh, I know. Whew. The different storylines. There's a lot of different storylines. Nice play.
Yeah, good job defensively there. Miles had to actually be the defender on that.
Right. That's a big play.
It was Bo Galbraith from Mapleton breaking it up.
But now what you see, Erik, though, if you look at the energy of the players, you're really starting to see some fatigue here.
Right.
From both sides now. And now you're looking for big shots and trying to get big plays. It's going to be a grind here these next 2 quarters.
The North has to find a reason to get excited.
Right.
And that's got to come from the offense, quite frankly. So they've got to, their defense is both ways have settled in. Now, if you're a North fan here, you got to have a play. You got big play potential, but it just has not formulated for whatever reason tonight.
Right. Well, this is definitely the quarter. You want to have Marshall Shepard in at quarterback,
right,
and those Shelby receivers to try to make plays down the field in a hurry. And since they're rotating quarterbacks by quarter, it's important that they have a big offensive showing while you got Shepard in here at quarterback.
Agreed.
Marshall's going to be continuing his education and athleticism at Walsh University. Going to be playing baseball, though, Coach. But what do you think about his decision to be a pitcher as opposed to trying to sling it out on the football field?
I think that's a good decision for him. He's a really good baseball player, heck of a pitcher. He's a really good high school quarterback,
Absolutely.
but I think he's making the best decision moving forward with that baseball spot.
I 100% agree. You know, the fact that you can play, this is a big run on first down, but the fact that, baseball is a sport, even as a pitcher, you can play till you're 40 with no problem. And then you can retire with your knees intact and your shoulders intact, and and so it's a skilled sport. Even though it's a lot about arm strength and that, it's still a skilled sport. And one of the things I remember when you're a quarterback, I remember our baseball coach asking me, he's like, "Hey, you want to come out and pitch?" And I'm like, "No way."
Right.
I just thought I wouldn't be any good at it. But looking back, I'm like, man, I should have played. I could still be playing right now.
Great defensive play right there.
Yeah, that's Carson Fickner off the edge, second-team All-Ohioan.
See, that's the Larry Johnson stuff at Ohio State, the D-line. If you can't get there, meet the hand. That's his big quote is meet the hand. And you will not find a better defensive line coach in all of America than Larry Johnson. He is the best. And when you go watch his individual and you see that, that's exactly what it looks like.
Well, you see how many guys they keep putting in the league, these first-round
Absolutely.
draft picks. It's been unbelievable. How about
nice
that
cut?
Great cut.
Connor Morris, he's starting to get the engine
Yes, he
churning a
is.
little bit. After a slow start, his last several runs have all gone for positive gains, 7 more right there.
Well, this is nice because now, with the threat of the run game, now even here on third down, now you have to have your secondary, your linebackers are reacting to the run game. Now they got to respect it and come up and make plays. This is now a good time you can possibly get the ball downfield, maybe even play action some right now. But when you're doing everything, now you got everything available.
Oh, Marshall, great
Nice.
decision that time. He faked the toss, took it himself, nice little gap. He's in enemy territory down to the 45 and a first.
And again, that's a quarterback power. That's a design play. And he fakes the pitch, and the left guard pulls around and leads blocks. That's a great play call. And Marshall Shepard reads it perfectly and gets the first down.
Absolutely. Xander getting up on Drew Shoup there. That's a nice job, like Effie said.
Marshall straight back to pass this time, steps up near side. Smedley.
Nice catch.
Nice.
Little toe touchdown in there. I think he might have even got 2 in.
Yeah, that thing had some zip on it.
Yeah, it's a good throw. It's a better catch because of the, like you said, I mean, that's the baseball arm coming out right there.
Yeah, that is a nice catch.
people don't realize, man, when you're stretched out, that is an all-hands catch.
Right.
The body is not assisting at all in that. That's a high-level catch right there.
Just under 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. This time, Morris, no gaps to run through. Drop down for no gain on the play and bring up 3rd and 2.
No movement on the offensive line.
Right,
That's a perfect example of trenches right there.
Sure.
That was just the defensive line just flat out reestablished the line of scrimmage about 1.5 yards in the offense's backfield.
Big play right here. Trips to Marshall's left. Comes back to the right side. And it's Smedley again. 2 catches, moving the sticks.
Well, again, nice play call. Trips to the wide side of the field, and they come back to the single receiver side where he just runs a quick little stop route. And, you know, that's one of those calls where if Marshall takes his eyes, looks off for 1 second, he can come back and have anything he wants down here to the boundary side. So, and plus it was 3rd and short, so they could have run the football. The playbook was wide open on that play. Nice execution there on 3rd down.
North on the move, pressure coming. Drew Blauser forces Shepard to break the pocket. He's going to take off down to the 15. Big run that time by Marshall Shepard using his wheels, something that we don't see from him a ton.
No, you're right. And he can run. He's not Brock Hill.
Right.
He's a good – Marshall Shepard is a good high school athlete. He's a really good high school quarterback as far as throwing it.
Right.
So Brock Hill is an athlete playing quarterback.
Sure.
So that's a little bit of the difference as far as just seeing the 2 guys play here. So he's a willing runner, but that's not his strength.
Right.
He's going to take off again, this time after the fake to Morris. And takes a pop there at the end of the play. Stokes applying the hit.
Well, and again, like we talked about earlier, it's important now that the North take advantage now of this drive and having Marshall Shepard at quarterback with the whole playbook now open. If they want to throw the football, we've seen him throw really nice out routes, short gains. He's had great runs here. They've run power football with the running back. So they've got the whole playbook, and they've got to take advantage here as they get inside the red zone.
Looking left all the way. He's got the connection to the far side of Brooks.
Nice.
Laying out for the end zone. One official says he's in.
Yeah, he's in.
So, touchdown.
Isaac Brooks. Isaac Brooks, a great athlete. He had a good senior. He had a really good basketball senior year.
Yes.
And the athletic ability is off the charts. He is a scholarship athlete, whether that's track. I mean, we've seen the potential of him as an athlete. You know, you're talking about Harding when you're looking at the top of the MOAC track, standings. They're always right there with their sprinters and jumpers. Well, Isaac Brooks is that type of athlete.
Well, and any person that runs the 300-meter hurdles is come up a little short on the 2-point play. If you run the 300 hurdles, that is a man's race.
Yes, it is.
And if you survive in that is a man's race. And Isaac Brooks is a 300-meter hurdler and a good one. And that just shows what his ability as an athlete and to get out here and is a really solid football player and a good basketball player as well. Just a great all-around athlete.
And they were isolating Shelby on that last drive a couple different times. Gabe Smedley away from trips. So, you know, Effie will tell you this. One of the big things you're doing as an OC in this situation, you're setting things up. So you're hitting that little 8-yard, and then that sets up your little hitch and go later because that gets the corner to be a little bit nosy coming up. And that is a great man beater when you've had success underneath. So we'll have to see how that goes because if they stick with Marshall Shepard from Shelby at quarterback, the rest of this quarter, it'll be interesting to see what they do going into the fourth quarter when it comes into your money quarter to try to win it.
Right, and even though I know they're rotating quarterbacks, I think, like you said, when money time comes, especially if they're able to get another score here, it'll be interesting to see how they play that on both teams, really. However they're doing their rotations, and I think at this point, all the athletes, coaches, parents, everybody's got to understand, hey, look, at this point, we're trying to win.
Shepard with another squib kick. Nice catch by Jacob Arndt. Avoided the contact, too. Could have taken a huge smack on that one, but wisely made the snag, went straight down.
Did the old Mega Man slide there from my Nintendo days right there. That was nice, man. That was heads-up play. I mean, you got guys running down full speed at you. He caught that thing and got down. That's exactly what you coach it to do.
Right.
So the South All-Stars see their gap trimmed down to a 9-point lead. And the decision by Coach Mahaney and his staff to go for 2.
Right. Well, Coach Mahaney had to go get the kicking tee there. Did you see that? You know, I remember when I was a kid, was it the New Orleans Saints that had the dog that used to run out and get it? So that's what they need to do here. Bring out all the stops for the All-Star game. They got to be a local pet that can go get that.
Right.
Yeah.
Freeman comes in motion. They pitch it to him. Makes a cut, looking to catch the corner. He's got speed. And he's all the way down to the 41. So with the solid field position after the squib kick already, knocking on scoring position door.
Yeah, and Freeman's had some great runs here to the outside, shown some great speed on the perimeter, and has been giving them great balance where they've run some power off tackles, some quarterback counter on the inside in between the tackles. Freeman's come in and given some great runs on the perimeter as well. So, again, South playing with great balance here in both of their offensive units with both of their quarterbacks.
Hickman from the gun, looking left, throws that way. He's got the completion to Melchiori.
Melchiori's had a nice game. Even defensively, he's had a nice game. He's a nice two-way player there. They're gonna miss him at Highland. You can tell he's a heck of an athlete. Like you said, had a playoff berth and run. I believe a co-championship as well, right, Brian?
Yeah, I think three teams
might have the K-MAC there. So, and obviously Highland's making the transition into the MOAC this year. Right. So, you know, that's going to be a great addition to. Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Inside handoff. Carson Berry that time picks up the first down inside the 30. So the South on the move, getting closer to knocking on the doorstep here of the red zone.
Carson Berry did a nice job of avoiding, had a subtle move in that backer shooting the window, missed him. See, that's the subtle things that people, if you just generally watch a game, you don't see how nice that was. It was just because that ball that was supposed to go inside and he bounced it a gap wider.
Cardington QB slinging, tipped into the hands of the wide receiver, living dangerously. Nice grab, too.
Right.
Excellent concentration that time.
Gotzi got both hands on that football, and he is going to beat himself up later because that is a pick for him.
Oof.
And went right through his hands. But great concentration, though, to make that catch.
How about the backer actually in that play was working out to the running back?
Right.
So it's funny how the ball, just by the design of the play, he worked through that window.
2nd and 1. They'll fake it to Berry, keep it inside. And Hickman's going to be hit right at the sticks. Looks like he's going to be just a little bit short. Should be 3rd and inches.
You know, and they running that read option that time, they what they call loaded the end. They actually blocked the end, and I think it would have been, Hickman may have missed that read. He probably should have gave it there, but they end up getting a great block on the end. But the thing about running the read option or any of those option style offenses is that when you got a quarterback that's willing to put his shoulders down, you're going to get positive yards on the play. So even if he makes not necessarily a bad read, he can still get positive yards.
The school that really started bringing that, at least in Ohio, was Ohio State with Braxton Miller.
Right.
That was the play. They used to just eat people up with that power stretch.
Right.
And what people don't realize is your quarterback is actually the inside runner in that play.
Hickman again fakes it, spins away, and down to the 12-yard line. They actually gave him the first down on that previous play.
Boy, he's having a nice ball game here. He's just, you can tell he's very steady.
Right.
He's not going to be real flashy, but that's okay.
Right.
He's a very steady, calm, and you can tell like his presence is just it's almost like a blanket for that entire offense.
Right. Coach Stover is really you could tell he's comfortable with him. He's run a lot of different things, thrown the ball with him, option football with him.
Nice ball.
Yeah, great defensive play, too. Freeman, we know, he's showcased. He's got a lot of speed out there, tracked down by Gotze.
And, again, that's a quick pitch and catch. You know, Freeman, who's been lining up in the backfield mostly this evening, lines up in the slot that time. And instead of pitching it to him, you just throw it a little quick out to him, and maybe he breaks a tackle and gets into the end zone. So, you know, again, the South, you know, I can't give them enough credit. They have really played and called a really solid offensive football game. And it's tough to do when you're playing with 2 quarterbacks and multiple sets of personnel.
First and goal, trucked in the backfield, just nowhere to go. Excellent penetration that time. Caden Clapper got in there alongside Carson Music.
Yeah, Caden Clapper was not fooled that time. They've been running a lot of counteraction, a lot of misdirection, and that time he read his keys and found the football and made a big play.
Yeah, this is where having a 205-pound quarterback is major your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It really does give you 2 inside run presence here. So second down and long here, second down and goal long, you're probably looking pass.
It's going to be incomplete outside of the boundary. Freeman caught it. And so it'll be 3rd and goal now from the 6. 33 seconds to go here as the sun continues to set in beautiful Belleville.
Yeah, it is gorgeous down here. Stadium's beautiful. The valley, as they call it, it's beautiful down here. Should train up here in the hills, man.
There you go.
I don't know if I'm
That'll
ready
get
for
you
that
ready.
yet, Erik.
That'll get you ready.
Yeah.
Play action, throw to the end zone. Melchiori out of bounds. He also made the snag, but again, just not in the field of play. So it's going to be 4th down. And
they're going to kick a field goal here? Yeah.
I like it.
Try to
Let's
make it
play a little
point.
strategy
Absolutely.
here, Effie.
I like it.
Now, is does the North or South team have the young man that kicked the 50-yarder? Because you don't need that much leg here. This is basically a little bit more than an extra point here.
I don't believe I ever said, actually, who won the kicking contest. This is Drew Blauser of Clear Fork. Setting up for the short kick, and I think it's wide.
Ooh, he had plenty of leg.
Yeah, it's going to be wide to the left. That was not the case before tonight's All-Star game, a kicking competition that featured double digits, and we were looking to narrow it down to 4 kickers to bring out for a halftime show, but instead, Caleb Chenier of Northmore, who I think is just a sophomore, he booted a 50-yarder for the win.
Wow.
Nobody was able to match it.
Wow.
Kid from Lexington, A.J. Young, hit the crossbar on the 50-yarder.
Wow.
His first attempt, you got 2 from each level. He got the distance, but he missed to the right. So shout out to Caleb Chenier, the kicking contest winner. Dropped a 50-burger tonight.
It's a heck of a kick, especially for a sophomore.
It is. Jeez.
Yeah, my first year coaching, I coached against Centerville High School. That's where Mike Nugent was from. He was a quarterback, and he was good.
Well, how about this? We'll double reverse.
Nice ball.
Andre Hill looking like a quarterback here.
Yeah. We'll double reverse
No
pass.
kidding.
Andre Hill.
Put that right on the money. Morris ran under it. Beautiful execution.
Yeah. Brooks was wide open, too, wasn't he? I think it was funny because that's one of those ones in practice. They probably said, hey, hit the wheel out of the backfield. Hit the wheel out of the backfield. Brooks, he's over there saying, man, give me some love.
Well, and this is interesting strategy here. We see, Kobe Allen in here at quarterback here to end the third, which lets you know that we're probably going to get mostly Marshall Shepard here in the 4th.
Yeah.
But that was a close one right there.
Yeah, it was.
Down the seam.
He's got the arm talent. There's no doubt about that because that ball was a nice looking. That was an Effie James ball.
I wouldn't say that. It wasn't wobbling.
Yeah.
We'll be back with your 4th quarter action right after this.
If you're looking for the best pre-owned vehicles in Ontario, then stop by New Haven Auto Sales today and let my dad, Craig Underwood, the car guy, help you into the car, truck, or SUV that fits your lifestyle and budget. Hi, I'm Carter Underwood, and we specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles and unmatched customer service. We also pride ourselves in our competitive prices and variety of financing options. We're New Haven Auto Sales, 3690 Park Avenue West, Ontario. Visit newhavenautosales.com.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Shot down the middle. Morris tried to readjust in midair, but just out of the reach. So it's going to bring up a third down here for the North All-Stars, who right now rolling with Kobe Allen at QB.
Yeah. He's thrown a couple. I mean, that ball right there. That's a. And Effie will tell you, this is a high level. That's a difficult catch. It can be made, but the ball was. It's a nice ball. You know, and he'll tell you this is a quarterback. You don't want to miss that short.
Right.
I mean, so if you're going to miss long.
Well, and one of the things that you want to do is give the receiver more of the field to work with. And I thought he let him just a little bit too far upfield, where you want to give him more of the field to work with in that type of route.
Pressure coming. Allen evades it for now, and then is dropped down, sacked in the backfield. Excellent pressure again by the South All-Stars, and it's Eli Grandstaff coming away with the sack.
Yeah, and you can see right away they come off the ball. They knew it was going to be a pass, and they just got great push on the line of scrimmage right from the beginning, and that pocket collapsed really quickly.
Now we've seen, what, 2 punts and a fake. So I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to punt this. And I doubt if they've got more than 1 fake in that holster.
Hill will kick it away. Stokes takes it from the 15 with a head of steam.
Yeah.
Wesley Stokes to the near side, cuts back around.
Oh, boy, he's got
That's what he needs. If he can get out on oh!
Beautiful return by the Marion Harding products down to the 43-yard line. About a 50-yard return.
Well, I tell you what, you know, Stokes has had a great game. And, you know, I don't know what his prospects are playing football at the next level, but if I am a coach seeing this film, even at this point, I'm like, here's a kid, 6'4", really athletic, tough, plays hard, you know, has pretty much been on the field every down. He's probably the only skilled guy that hasn't, at least I haven't seen him take a break yet. So, you know, he's a quality football player.
Yes, he is.
Now, on his stat sheet that he turned in, he didn't say where he is going to attend college, but this is what it says, Effie, verbatim. He's going to be majoring in marketing and will play basketball and football.
How about that? Nice.
Dig it.
I love it.
One of a few multi-sport athletes. We were talking earlier about all the different things that Isaac Brooks can do. I believe he's a scholarship track runner at Ashland University, but he also is going to try out for football.
Exactly. Oh, and I think he'll be fine. You know, like we talked about with Miles, a lot of these kids may not get recruited, but if they get on the field on some of these college campuses, they're going to make the team.
Just need a chance.
You know, you just need an opportunity. And, you know, being, you know, on college field, especially football, you know, so many times recruiting is so much about, you know, the measurables, the speed in the 40. And, you know, because, you know, you can't come back to your head coach as a recruiter and say this kid is a great football player, but he runs a 4.8.
That's right.
He's supposed to be a receiver. Well, that didn't work. But if you see a kid and you get him on campus and see how he makes a difference on your football team, you got to take him.
Hill, quick trigger, hooks up with Bradley. That's going to move the chains.
Nice play. See, that's good play design right
Absolutely.
there. Just run, just two things are happening there. You're moving the chains, running the clock.
Right.
Those two things are great because if you're the South, you realize the next score, that's really putting you up essentially, definitely, 16 points potentially.
Right.
So, I mean, no matter what, it's going to be a 2-possession, but in many cases that turns into a 3-possession game.
Absolutely. Well, and like we talked about with – Miles and Brock, that is like water. That's a pitch sweep for them. 5 to 7 yard quick hitch. That's like a pitch sweep. So, that's something they can run all night.
Grant Barrett with the carry hit almost immediately in the backfield by Baker, who's been getting in there quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, he's had a nice game from that left defensive end position. And you're taught as a defensive lineman, listen, if my tackle pulls, get on his hip and run with him. It's going to take you to the ball, right? So the curtains, as you call it, the athletes, don't follow them. They're going to make you look like Larry, Curly, and Mo. Follow the line. The line will take you to the ball every time.
Exactly.
Second down, Hill airs it out. And how about that adjustment? I don't even think it was intended there for Paul Butterman.
Catch.
I want to say that ball, I thought the ball got tipped at the line.
Right.
And because it was going to the outside, but
that's
was a great catch
what
by
I
Butterman.
thought. I agree with you, Effie. I actually, when the ball first was thrown, I thought we were going outside.
Yeah.
It's a great play.
Yeah, no question about it. It looked like it's intended to go to Melchiori.
Right.
And instead, the Mount Gilead kid bails him out. Sweet stuff.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, it goes in the stats as a pass and catch.
Completion, absolutely.
That's right.
So a big opportunity here for the South squad. Stretch this thing out, as we were just talking about. Make it a big 2-score differential. But Brock's not going anywhere. Look at all those red jerseys swarming.
Again, a lot like Kobe White on the north side. I think Brock missed that read. He probably should have given it. But again, it's tough. At this part of the field, when you're running the read option, you could make the right read and still get tackled for a loss because everything is so compact. And if one guy gets beat off the line of scrimmage, it just blows up the whole play. So great defensive effort up front by the North defensive line.
Taking their time, allowing some of this clock to just melt away.
Right.
Because I'm thinking some of these players are NBA Finals fans. They know tip-off's
Yeah,
coming.
right. They know it's happening.
Oh, my.
Almost.
Wow.
Great effort right there.
Yeah, a lot of contact. Zach Schieffer, who almost came away with that pick, I think might have got away with a little bit of a push or a shove there before the ball hit the floor.
A little push. That's all right, though, right? Like I said, this is set up for the offense just by rules. They're probably giving a little handsy. It's kind of like a charge block in basketball.
Right.
But interference can be a tough call when guys are hand battling.
For sure.
Sometimes you let them go at it a little bit. And obviously, depending on the sideline that you're on, that's the call you want.
Right. And I've always been an advocate for letting them be more physical than not. Now, when it gets down to a place where you're gaining an advantage or you're pulling the guy by the jersey, but if it's just physical, hard football play, and for me, it's been for any sport. I've always thought we would get into tournament play as a basketball coach, and the one thing that we had to have our kids adjust to was once you got into district and the regional play, those officials no longer bailed you out with the reach-in calls or the little bump calls. You didn't get that. It's a physical game. And I think, you get in the fourth quarter of a football game like that, you're in the red zone, you're jockeying for position, they're going to let you fight it out. And I think that's the right call to make no call in those situations.
I think you're right. Effie, I think you see it at every level. I mean, in any sport.
True.
I mean, look at the NBA Finals right now. The Celtics, I mean, they're a physical team. They're a physical ball club. We know the athleticism, but I'm telling you, you're right. Like, and I'm okay with that, too. I'm with you. Sure. I like seeing athletes decide games.
Absolutely.
Here's one right here. Hill trying to get to the perimeter, slings it. Bradley was able to get his paws on it, but trying to do the concentration as well to get the toe tap. Couldn't make it happen, so it'll be fourth down now, and they missed a field goal previously, a short one. What do they do here?
Wow, and this is Brock Hill's comfort zone, and I think it looks like they may keep the offense on on the field here with Brock coming back out. But again, that run pass option, just like there, even though Brock decided to throw it in the end zone, you know, I would expect something along those lines here on this play to give Brock the opportunity to either run or throw to try to get this in the end zone. He does a great job. He's got a nose for the end zone, so it'd be a good call to get the ball in his hands.
Right.
South Squad's going to take another timeout. They're second here in the last 3 plays. Just want to make sure that they get it right, get something dialed up that they're comfortable with. And Effie, you said that you coached in this game previously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you only get a few days of practice with these kids.
Right.
When you start getting down to the nitty-gritty, you've already ran everything 5 times. Like, at some point, you just got to draw up something right in the dirt.
Well, I remember, you know, as an assistant coach and you know, Stan Jefferson was the head coach. I remember doing just that in a game, and I cannot remember the kid from Shelby who was our quarterback. Great quarterback. I wish I could remember
Todd
his name.
Stepsis or Tony Seibert? Ousley.
No, I can't remember the kid's name, but we went in and literally we were drawing up plays at the end because it was a tight ball game, and we were drawing up plays at the end. We ended up losing that game, but it was the fun though, and that's the thing about this. No matter who wins this game, at the end, the kids are going to remember how much fun it was, and that's why I'm glad that it's not going to be a blowout. You know, both teams are going to be competitive. Because they're going to remember how much fun they had. Like, I don't remember. I think we won my game, but I don't really remember. I just remember how fun it was to be in that game with those players.
I like the backyard approach.
Yeah.
Draw it up, man. Let's see what you got.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Oh, a lot of pressure. Looks like maybe a hold. No flag comes in. Lobs up. Picked off in the end zone.
He's bringing it out.
Isaac Brooks with the INT brings it back out to the 20. Athletic leap there. And Brock at least giving this guys a chance.
Right.
Threw it up.
Right.
But the pressure immediately is what broke this thing down. Like,
well,
look at this.
And we were just talking about it, not letting the kid, you know, you're right, that was a hold. But you know what, I'm okay that they didn't call it. Let's play $5. Let's see what Brock throws up over there, there on that R there. And how about Brooksy bringing it out, man? I liked it. I'm being aggressive, absolutely. And he's the type of athlete you're okay with that. Bring that thing out, man. We're going to see right now. So remember, we had a lot of the hitch underneath. We're going to see if we get a hitch and go here soon.
Instead, just straight to the moon. Played Bowman one-on-one, and he makes the catch. Bowman's going to go 81 yards to the zone, his second touchdown of the night.
And a great play call. And, you know, personnel-wise, you know, to be able to be fair to both quarterbacks, they brought Kobe White back in the third quarter. Marshall Shepard comes out, and that's a play that they have been looking at. I'm sure they've been looking at the whole third quarter, running down the seam, a perfect throw to get the North into the end zone. And we have now it's a ball game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now it's a ball game. Now you're playing real football.
You know, Blaine had a couple of drops earlier, obviously made up with that one. That was a really nice catch with playing through contact. Obviously, that was going to be a pass interference call there. So, but on the other part of that, I saw Blaine kind of turn around a little bit and kind of wave a finger, I think, on the replay there. So you got to be careful because you don't want that thing coming back either after a really nice offensive play. You know, that's where we talked about this at the beginning. Have fun, get in the end zone, have fun, dunk that basketball. You know, do whatever you want, but be careful because those things are a two-way street, Brian.
Yeah, after an 81-yarder, I don't think he had the energy to attempt the dunk after that touchdown.
That's right. You notice he ran to the corner of the end zone this time, not, because that's his second TD of the game right there.
So it definitely puts him in the conversation for our Bo Lacey Construction offensive MVP.
You see that? Yeah. He gave the 2, Effie.
Right.
Now he's going to play football at Walsh. So he and Marshall are actually going to be roommates.
Which makes sense. I think that's great for them. Be comfortable. Two guys grinding it out at the collegiate level.
If I'm the Walsh football coach, I'm talking.
I would agree with
you. Get your buddy in and let's talk a little bit. You know, we'll concede baseball, but let's talk a little bit.
See, I agree with you. I've always said that when you're especially Division II, and Division I doesn't matter, but especially Division II, you're getting a lot of really good athletes to come through the door. And at your university, and who knows how they can help you in another sport in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got an inkling. You might just see Marshall out there and maybe some summer stuff.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Throwing it around.
Now, obviously, because of the penalty, we're kicking the ball here. It looks like from the 45-yard line. So this is another opportunity for a little pooch kick or an onside kick or something like that.
Well, that's really all they've done tonight.
Right. Yeah, they're playing Tecmo Bowl. Remember Super Tecmo Bowl?
Oh, yeah.
That's all you did was score, onside kick, score, onside kick.
Well, and it's a legitimate strategy because, it puts a lot of pressure on the front line, especially, these guys, if they're not used to handling a football, one misstep and now you got the ball back in their territory.
Right. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, the South All-Stars are ready for the short kick this time. Looks like they've got some of their hands guys across that front. And Marshall actually kicks it a little bit deeper this time than we've seen. Grandstaff with the catch. I feel like they've been targeting him, and he's done a nice job so far.
Catch, right?
Yeah, he said keep kicking it this way.
So 2-point cushion here for the South. They got the football back. Big spot here for the North. Try to make a defensive stop. Get it back into the hands of your offense.
Absolutely. Now, if you're the South, you have got to now. You got to play football. You've got to run the ball effectively. Throw your short passes, your quarterback runs, all that stuff. And you want to milk the clock, but you also want to get positive yards as well. So, this is a big drive for the South.
It's going to be interesting to see here. Go back to the first quarter when the South had their best momentum and movement. It was like this, running the football.
There you go.
Woo!
Oh, wow. Look at the burst by Lincoln Mollenkoff.
Yeah, that's a
It's
game
a great
changer.
run. See, that's now you get that whole playbook back open. And see, now I am going to get the Miles Bradleys in right now because that short game is going to be really, really important. I still like that anything quick to him. And so let's see if he can break a tackle and then still use that run game with your quarterback and your running back.
Well, and I like the fact that they've been mixing it up with the inside run and then the perimeter run. And over time, with the fatigue and all of that, you get a guy who comes in with fresh legs to get the ball out on the perimeter with great speed. I mean, he looked like he was running in double time as compared to everyone else.
54-yard gain that time by Lincoln.
Here he goes. He's getting out on the perimeter. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
Yeah, he's such a versatile threat because he's pretty thick. You see the speed out there. Physical runner, 175 pounds. About 5'10".
Yeah, he runs like he's angry at the grass. Love it, man. I even like on that, going back, Effie, you talked about this second quarter, maybe early third quarter, the play action now. Your play action is gold on 2nd and 3 here. I even like Stokes at that number 2 position, kind of have him work to the left upright.
Right.
It's going to be a quarterback keeper all the way.
Yeah. Well, and again, that is power football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a quarterback power, quarterback run. They pulled the left guard again around the outside. But that time I thought the North defensive lineman really got a great push at the point of attack. So it really clogged up, the hole there. So great job by the North up front.
There you go.
The North has been pretty solid defensively down here in this red zone. They've held the South in check each of the last 3 times that they've been able to crack inside here.
I like that play call. Just just wedge it, man.
Right.
Just snap the ball, wedge it, and go straight ahead. And they've used it. And all this damage has been done on the ground. So I think that offensive line's kind of finding their groove here. It looks like the North's defensive line, a little bit hands on the hips, as they would say. So you got to kind of, what do they say, bow your neck right now if you're that North defense.
Looking left, chucking it up there to the end zone. What a catch!
Oh, my gosh, it's intercepted.
He picked it.
Picked off through the hands. Racing back the other way. Comes the South. Ball comes loose at the end.
That was a great pick.
Young man
Zach
from Upper.
Schaefer of Upper Sandusky. I got to see a look at that replay. Initially, I thought it was going to be a touchdown grab by Butterman.
Yeah, I thought Butterman. I think he had a mid on it. I can tell you that.
Oh, he tipped it up.
Yeah.
But that, Effie, talk about just playing football.
Right.
That's why you get hats to the ball.
Right, true.
Because you never know, man, when you're going to get that deflection, man. Great job. Go ahead,
No,
Effie.
because that's really a safe throw. You throw a corner route in the end zone, it's usually a pretty safe throw. If your guy doesn't get it, usually it goes out of bounds. But that time it got tipped.
Incomplete. A lot of blue jerseys right there surrounding Blaine Bowman.
Wow, how about that? Who would have thought?
21-19
North with the ball with a chance to take the lead.
Yeah. And, those are those things. I mean, that's a great defensive play. I mean, that's just, what do they call that, fortuitous bounce, right? I mean, come on. Who would have thought you're going to get that kind of a bounce, that kind of a deflection, I should say. We'll see if the South can hold the North back here.
Marshall steps up in the pocket. And he's got a first down throw. Gabe Smedley with the catch. Keep the drive moving. 4.5 minutes to go here.
When I was a kid growing up, and Effie, you'll definitely remember this. This is in your heyday. Watching the Houston Oilers play that run and shoot.
Absolutely.
And Warren Moon ran that thing to perfection.
Absolutely.
And that's what that looked like. That's almost like that's your check down.
Right.
Almost. Is that outside, you just kind of sit.
Right. And, your quarterback, though, has to be in tune.
Yes.
For what's going on. This is a great call.
Yeah, he was right there. Excellent fake. Marshall able to catch the edge. And he picks up another fresh set of downs here for these North All-Stars, who got the momentum pendulum swung right back in their favor.
Well, right now, the South defense, somebody almost like offensively, somebody's got to make a play.
Right.
Whether you make a big play in the backfield, you make a big play while the ball's in the air. They've got to have somebody to make a play defensively at this point.
Shepard again calls his own number.
Nice.
9 more yards for Marshall.
Well, I tell you what, Erik, for him not to be a runner, he certainly
no.
looks
Here's the thing. Like I said, he's capable.
Yeah.
but
he had a game this year where he scored 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yes, I mean that's what I said. He's very capable. But if you let's say if you were to go to the next level,
sure.
You're not going to live in that world with him. Whereas with Brock Hill, guys like that, I mean, they're more natural runners.
For sure.
Here he is again. 3 straight Marshall Shepard runs.
Tough
man.
Runs. That's a touchdown.
And it's going to take him
Is he in?
down to the goal line. They are going to mark him short. I think if we watch the Bo Lacey replay, it might tell a different story.
Right. I thought he was in.
Yeah. I'll tell you, tougher than a $2 steak right now. That's dragging people there. You know what he's doing? He's up there. He's saying, you know what? Enjoy the press box because I'm going to go run this thing in, and then I'm going to drop the ball off in the press box. Look at him. He's running. Look at him. He's running like
running through people.
Holy smokes,
That's close, man.
Right.
Well, and the great thing is when you line up with that many weapons on the outside
Right.
and you got a quarterback that's capable of
Right.
throwing the ball all over the field, you've got to honor that. That just opens the field up for the run. But, man, he has been physical on this drive.
Hands it off this time. And with the box just being loaded up by the South, there's just no room for Morris.
So what do we got here? Second down or are we at third down territory?
It's going to be second down and goal here.
So, and here's the thing. If you're the North, you're okay with chewing a little bit of this clock.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is not a bad thing here. I mean, if you're now you're actually into the managing the game part of this.
Exactly.
So this is where coaching actually does matter in this situation.
Sure. Shepard fakes, lobs to the end zone.
Wow.
It's a nice play.
Great play call.
That is a great play call.
Erik Schneider of New London leaking out into the flats.
If you're Erik Schneider, you're loving that, aren't you? Because you're sitting there as an H-back. You're like, okay, I'm normally the pull-through kick-out guy for the quarterback. Now I get to be the guy that gets that short little pass.
Well, you can see the way the scheme was, it was essentially a 2-on-1 fast break. And if he would have stayed back to take the H-back, Shepard runs it in. He comes up, he throws it over the top. It's a great play design.
Yes.
And great execution that time by the North.
Right. And I will say this. Marshall's a very, very smart quarterback. So, he understands, like Effie's saying, like, So he really has a run-pass option there.
For sure.
So by doing that, he picked the better choice.
Going for 2 here.
And you mentioned the smarts of Marshall Shepard. What I liked about his stat sheet that he filled out, his first thing at the very top, he put honor roll all 4 years of high school.
Nice.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Because he's got, well, after that, there's many things about his athletic career.
Right.
But he starts with the honor roll.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, 0 phenom wins, it was pointed out by our Adam Thompson, despite being on our list of record 9 times this last year.
Times.
Unbelievable.
All right. You know what? That's the fans' fault, though, isn't it, fellas?
Hey,
you got to vote, man.
Here he is lobbing, looking for Blaine. Incomplete, so it's going to stay a 4-point differential. 2:08 to go. And the South squad, after they scored on 3 straight possessions in that first quarter,
wow,
you got to give the North a ton of credit, and especially in the red zone, where 3 times in a row they've been able to hold them to no points.
Hey, what did we say? Like, that's why you stay tuned to these things. I'm telling you, it in an all-star game, like, you have so many good players, anything can happen, man.
Absolutely. And it really takes for somebody to step up
and
make a play. And I thought the play there early in the fourth quarter where they had to stop down here on the goal line, that was a huge defensive play. Isaac Brooks makes the pick.
Right.
And that is a huge play because now they get an opportunity. They keep them out of the end zone. They get an opportunity to come down and score.
Right.
They make another big play defensively to put them in essentially giving them the lead.
Right.
So really the defense put them in a space to win this football game. And now the South has got to step up. You know, they've had, Miles Bradley has been kind of quiet.
Right.
They've had some guys be quiet that need to step up now if they want to win this football game.
Well, and you're bringing up a great point, Effie. The last 2 possessions have ended in interceptions in the end zone, run out. And before that, there's at least 2 possessions that the North was inside the 10 and came away with nothing.
Exactly.
Again, they go with the short kick. Handled by the South, who got 2:02 to play with and about 75 yards of turf in between.
You know what's funny about this, boys, is I'm watching this. I just had this revelation. These are everybody's best players in their high school.
Sure.
Most of these guys aren't playing special teams, man.
Right. True.
Like I'm watching Blaine Bowman run down on kickoff.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't doing that. So, like, it's just funny because you're seeing these all-stars. It's like, listen, fellas, we got to have somebody run down the field. Isaac Brooks didn't run it down on kickoff. I mean, he's on kickoff return because he's returning the ball. But you know what I mean, though? I'm looking at that. I'm thinking, like, this is great.
Absolutely. Well, and here it is, money time, 2 minutes to go, and we've got Hickman in here at quarterback, which I think is a good call.
Right.
He's had a really good solid game running and passing the football.
Hey, and then this has been working out too.
Absolutely.
Molenkoff, we saw he had the 50-plus yarder on the previous possession that got him into the red zone. He's got 11 here to start off the drive.
Oh, no.
Got our first flag here.
Oh, don't do that.
Got our first flag. I mean, first, where we're seeing a little bit of, players.
Oh, don't do that.
Right.
Are they going to call a dead ball, personal foul or something?
Yeah. See, and I like the first play there. I like that's 11. That's 11 yards right there. I'll be honest with you, I think they need to just kind of stay with it because they're really getting what they want on the perimeter.
Absolutely. And if you need to use timeouts, you can. But
But
I think the rushing attack, the counter, the power counter, quarterback counter has been working well for them along with the short passing game. Offset.
You got the offset. You knew that was coming, man. It's kind of like the double T's, man.
Exactly.
See, but this is competition time right now, Brian. Like, these teams, I'm telling you, if you don't think these guys want to win, you're crazy. Trust me. Like, this is backyard football. You just want to play and you want to win. Like, you want to get out of here with bragging rights right now.
Effie's still not over his loss back in '93.
I'm not. That's a big play defensively.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and if you look, the right side of the line, it was that's one of those zone blocking schemes, and the whole right side of the line just won their individual battles and got into the backfield. So, right now the North is playing with tons of momentum, and they are playing with great emotion right now on the defensive line.
Yeah, Caden Clapper's had a nice game.
Yeah.
He really has. I'll tell you what, man. Scott Valentine going to Madison. I'm telling you, better get ready, people, because that dude's going to win some football games. Better get ready to go.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the pocket
great
collapses.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
intercepted.
Wow.
3 straight picks.
How about that?
This time it's Hunter Sanders. And he waves goodnight to the opponent.
Wow.
Wow.
How about that? Now, usually when you see a play like that, when the quarterback is almost down, usually that means somebody in the secondary is wide open.
Blown coverage,
You're right. Normally somebody's wide open, but I think because of the really strong man-to-man rules, they have to stay with their man. Otherwise than that, you see the quarterback go down almost to a knee. You know, most DBs are going to react up.
It's a great point.
How about that?
Now, the North still has 2 timeouts, so I don't think the game is dead just yet. But pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I'd better say I'd get that ball on the ground too. Yeah, this is going to ice it, Brian.
Yeah, that might just rock the baby to bed. Connor Morris, big burst, 15-yard run.
Pride of Crestview right there. That's a nice run. Did you see the way he read his blocks? Great running backs have 2 things. They have great vision, and they set their blocks up. And that's what he did right there. That's a really nice run to ice a game.
It took Freeman for a little ride there for the last 3 yards of that. Well, boys, we need to start discussing who we're going to give for our MVPs tonight. I think Shepard's maybe an easy pick for offense. He's thrown 3 touchdowns. He had the 2 huge runs on the game-winning drive.
You know, and the reason why I like Shepard, to be honest, is because of what we were talking about earlier. Because I think he's one of those guys. He's like, when you think about LeBron, say, hey, he could win the MVP every year. And sometimes you overlook the greatness of a kid because he's been so good for so long. And he had a solid game, and he was one of the difference makers in this comeback for the North.
And who'd have thought it might have even been with the legs?
Sure, exactly. That last drive, 4 straight runs down there inside the 30, that put the game away that put them in a space where they could actually win the football game. So
yeah, Brian, I think what you're saying from Effie and I mean, we're not going to dispute that. I think that's.
I think it's time.
He's great.
I think he's been
it's time for him to get a shot.
He's been hosed enough by this Netflix has hosed him.
I love it, man. I love it.
We'll pick Marshall as a phenom tonight. And then defensively, I mean, the 3 defensive backs all coming up with the clutch picks.
They did.
Almost want to cheat and go with the 3-pack there, but hey, maybe we'll leave it up to you, the fans. Drop us a comment. Let us know who was the best defensive player here tonight. We'll have an interview with that kid on the other side along with that gentleman right there, Marshall Shepard, leading his team back to victory. The North squad, 25-21 over the South. Take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with our MWD Logistics postgame.
If you're looking for the best pre-owned vehicles in Ontario, then stop by New Haven Auto Sales today and let my dad, Craig Underwood, the car guy, help you into the car, truck, or SUV that fits your lifestyle and budget. Hi, I'm Carter Underwood, and we specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles and unmatched customer service. We also pride ourselves in our competitive prices and variety of financing options. We're New Haven Auto Sales, 3690 Park Avenue West, Ontario. Visit newhavenoutosales.com.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
last couple of drives, a couple big touchdowns to take the lead and win it.
Yeah, so we were slow through the first half, and I knew we had the weapons to go out there and make a comeback. And then I seen our defense get stops, and once they got those stops, it was it was our Shelby offense that I've ran all 12 weeks earlier in the season. So I was super comfortable back there, just let my guys work, and that's what happened.
And being down 21-6 at the half, just what was the talk at half, just to get you guys refocused, remotivated to come out here and come back?
Yeah, I mean, going into half, it's obviously we're all down a little bit, knowing that they're up by 3 possessions, but it's just the coaches came in and gave us a nice calm talk, and they kind of just chilled us down, and they hyped us up there at the end, and we came out just knowing that we had a good chance to win.
And finally, just how's it feel to get one more game in your high school career out here?
It just feels awesome to come back one more time with guys from different schools, create a bond that I'll never forget, and just end it with a win. It's awesome.
All right, Marshall Shepard, congratulations, our Bo Lacey offensive MVP.
Thank you.
All right. We'll get our defensive guys lined up here. And it is Schaefer, Sanders, and Brooks of the North squad. Let's start with you. Just second half, you really locked it down, especially red zone defense, to get a couple big turnovers that led to the cover. Just what were you guys thinking in those red zone defensive stops?
We were tightening it up after the second half because we were laying back in the first. We were really just looking for the ball in the end zone and just watching the ball. And so when it got tipped, just go get it.
How's it feel to get one more game under your belt, high school career?
It feels good. I have to come back here one more time and put pads on. Fuck.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, sir.
All right. What were the thoughts down 21-6 at the half? What did you guys do to refocus and get out here to pull off the upset?
I mean, we really just looked at each other and said we got to get together, and the guys all came together as one group, and we really started to turn on.
How fun was it being out here, not only playing with a couple teammates, but playing with guys that maybe you faced on the other side of the ball before?
It was definitely a wild experience. Never done anything in my life, and it was probably the greatest moment in high school for me.
And to get the win as well, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, congratulations, Isaac. Couple of big stops there in the end. What were you guys thinking there in the red zone to get those picks?
Me personally, I was just thinking shrink the field. They were so limited on offense. They only had it's an all-star game, so they probably didn't have a huge playbook. I was thinking shrink the field, and just, play me.
Is it tough transitioning, going from track, going down to States for track, and then coming back up here and get ready for a football game?
A little bit, yeah. I actually wasn't going to play in this game. I only went to one practice, but Coach convinced me. I'm really glad I played. It was a fun experience.
You must be glad. Well, you just won another award too, but you got to feel good to be able to get back up here and get that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And just what's next for you then?
I'm going to Ashland College, play football, run track.
All right, well, congratulations and good luck at Ashland.
Thank you.
All right, back up to you, boys.
All right, appreciate it, Trav, and all of our MVPs for the night. A record 3 for us. I'm
That's
told
right.
2 or more. Well, maybe.
I just like making the producer work. You know what I mean? I mean, that's
Yeah.
really what this is about.
We got our money's worth out of Adam tonight, no
Right.
question about
That's
it.
right,
And
Adam.
Those 3 guys, man, they got their money's
No,
worth when it
they're
mattered
great.
most. 3 big picks in the second
Yes.
half. I think they were all worthy of joining us as MVPs.
Right. Real quick, I think that we were trying to figure out which interception or which defensive player, but it's listen, all 3 of those were huge. I mean, they literally kept points off the board, like right then and there.
They needed the first one to set up the second one,
That's
and then
right,
the third one, the
correct.
game clinching.
So it is nice to reward 3 guys who had their DNA all over the results of this game from the defensive side, especially when we've said from the outset of this whole thing that the rules are set up to benefit the offense, and these guys did a great job of playing, and making timely interceptions.
Right. The fact that they made plays in the second half where, there was a point where we thought the North was dead in the water, and then the South had great drives to get themselves into the red zone, and those guys made play after play after play there in the third and fourth quarter. So they're definitely worthy of being players of the game.
Just guys stepping up in big moments. I think that's going to be my top takeaway from tonight is that while the South certainly put themselves in many positions to win the game and looked like they were going to, or do I got them flip-flop?
No, you're right. The South.
The South.
You're right. Yeah.
They felt like they definitely could have won this game, but the North stepped up and they just made the bigger plays at the right times.
Right, and I think, and I'll say it this way, and I've always been a proponent of high school coaches. I think it's a great job, it's a tough job, but I'll say it like this: I thought, even still, I thought the South had a much better game plan going in.
Yes,
going
agreed.
Into the game. I thought the South had a much better game plan, and their game plan was solid. They executed it for the most part well. The North players, though, played better. You know, if that makes sense.
Right.
The North players actually came out and played specifically a better second half, even though the South, even up until the end, I thought the South, schematically done well.
Right.
They ran the right plays. They had the right game plan. But I think when it came to making plays, the North kids made the plays. While the South kids may have played the better game, the North kids made the winning plays to win.
Right. Yeah, it was set up for the South to have a lot of success down the stretch, especially when you're looking at the 3 interceptions to kind of, all 2 were actually in the end zone. 1 was to finish the game. And then, like I said, they had at least 2 possessions that we know of. It might have even been 3 where they were inside the red zone. 2 of those they were inside the 10 and came away with no points. 1 was a missed field goal opportunity. So, this is the coaching side of this that Effie and I are talking about, as far as just the game managing and then just the execution of what's being asked. So it's nobody's fault. These kids are all competing. They're having fun. But, and especially in the second half going into halftime, the South was in complete control of this game. And I agree with Effie. They were able to move the ball really the whole length of the field. Their struggles were inside the 10-yard line, which, in a game like this, it's big play versus drive, and can you punch it in?
And that's what the North had. They had some of those game changers and those explosive plays that the South just, quite frankly, they weren't able to come up with, and especially not late in the game, where you were right. They were knocking on the doorstep a lot, but they just couldn't kick it down, because you got to give a lot of credit to the North, and especially those 3 defensive backs who stood out there at the end of the game. So throw a little bow on this thing for me tonight, Erik. What do you think about just the game overall and what we saw? A lot of excitement early on, and then defense kind of took over there for a little bit.
No, I think once teams settled in, you could see good football, especially considering the fact that the product only had 4 practice days. You're bringing people from all different types of schemes and coaching philosophies into one for one day, for one night like this. And what I appreciated was the sportsmanship. Because I'm telling you, you didn't see guys jawing and getting after each other. You didn't see – there was one time we had the offsetting. I mean, you can see that in a normal high school football game. You know what I mean? Like, I actually think this was the sportsmanship was fantastic. Both coaching staffs obviously did a good job with that. And that's a reflection of the area schools and how well the kids are coached to respect the game and respect their opponents. That's what you were seeing on display today. And then just the best in our area in the senior class competing one last time. And some of these guys are going to go to play college baseball, basketball, some other sport. Some will play football. And you know what, Effie? Some are just going to go be a student or go to work. And you know what? So it was an opportunity for everybody to kind of lace it up that one last time and kind of represent their schools and communities. And I thought every single one of these young men did that extremely well tonight.
Yeah, I think that's what's so special about this game, because looking through a lot of the transcripts that these guys turned in with their stats, is I would say probably about 40% of these guys are just going to go right into the workforce. So this was their last opportunity to truly be an athlete and show it out. Effie, final word.
Well, I think one of the most impressive things about this game, and again, we look at the flash and we look at the big plays, but what I thought really took over the game in the second half was the interior play. And so many times we saw defensive linemen getting pressure on the quarterback. There were plays made in the backfield. We saw tipped balls. We saw a lot of things happen by the interior linemen in the second half. So where the skilled guys were maybe wearing down a little bit in the second half, where we didn't see much scoring and we didn't see a whole lot, the interior linemen played well. And I thought the physicality of the game started to turn in the late in the third, early in the fourth quarter, where the North defensive linemen were really getting after the South quarterbacks and really changed what they were able to do. And so I can appreciate the interior play in the second half, and I thought that was a big, huge difference maker in this game. Really entertaining football game to watch, really. It really was.
Yeah, the longest first quarter I think I've ever seen
in the history of sports.
Game.
Absolutely.
So that'll go down in the history books. And I learned a lot tonight, especially about you two, when you unveiled to me that you both feel Rocky III is the premier best of
listen,
the best.
man.
Sure, man.
You know, we've already swayed you a little bit with the NIL at the high school level.
Right.
So now we're kind of bringing you this way on the Rocky train.
I might head home.
And I want to make this clear.
Yeah,
Effie and I are not knocking you know, they're all great, but we're saying, listen, 3 and 4. They're all great, but man, there's something about that storyline, and you got all the characters. You got Mick still. You got Mick. You got Rocky. You've got Apollo. You got Clubber. Just saying.
The story. Mick literally dies before.
Right.
You can't.
They pull him out of Philly. He trains in L.A. Effie, come on.
They turn him in. They turn Rocky into an athlete. They turn
Yes.
the ultimate, just barbarian into an athlete. Come on, man. You can't.
Adam's loving it. Adam's loving it.
All right. That's where we're going to wrap it up right there. Final score here tonight, 25-21. The North All-Stars with a come-from-behind victory behind the right arm of Marshall Shepard and their 3 excellent defensive backs. That's going to wrap up this ball game, but we've got another live stream tomorrow, the first ever Mansfield Senior Tigers alumni basketball game, and I'm hearing that there's a lot of old hats that are coming out to perform in this one, so some former Tigers greats, not Effie James in this one, but
you
maybe
going
down the line in the future.
You going to watch?
No, I won't be there.
Okay.
My daughter's got a graduation.
You know what? That's hey, man. You got to take care of family.
For sure.
But
Absolutely.
you can watch it live and free on the OH Report. You can keep an eye and see what's going on there. That is tomorrow at 4 p.m. We'll also have some state baseball championship. Got some highlights coming up. Can the Wayndale Golden Bears finish it off against Edison? We're going to have the coverage for you guys tomorrow. But for now, for tonight, for Effie James and Erik Will, I'm Brian Skowronski signing out from the Valley.